And welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
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 Last week we left off with you all arriving in molemill Well, Vellos being given a heart attack, and y'all have been requested to go underground for various reasons.
Also, Lantern now has a poster that looks like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy.
Yes. Yes, you do. Scan lines and all. You're not sure how an organic process creates those, but scan lines and all.
It is still her new, maybe fourth favorite possession.
Well, at least we're on the right trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we have, now we know our destination.
Yep. I don't
After this
remember.
job.
Did you tell your brother?
Yeah, fellows
Yes,
told
yeah.
his
The reaction was, what?
And I could not
That's
do
right.
justice for the confused level of what?
Which I find hilarious.
Yep.
I can't wait to get to Petri now.
That's going to be entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, last we left off, you guys were on the stairwell leading down molemill Well into the ground. I will note, as you're looking around, you do notice a platform overlooking the edge along with cranes, but the cranes do not have anything connected to them. In so much that the actual rope that would be used to hoist things up and down is missing. It's fairly obvious because they're fairly large.
Well, with the emergency going on, guess
Yeah, it's
that
not
makes
too
sense.
surprising.
Yeah.
As the six of you head deeper underground or deeper down the stairs, the calm tension slowly shifts to a more clear sensation of what's going on, as there are thickened guard patrols, and every here and there you're seeing unfamiliar banners of, well, not banners, but tabards on soldiers from what you presume to be likely one of the nearby Link kingdoms or nations.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Was
the
that?
Lone Link's an entire underground.
Yes.
I just remembered something about the scouts they're missing from this whole situation.
Yes,
It's not the scouts themselves, but specifically
the Dungeon
The
Brigade.
The Dungeon Brigade.
Yeah, which is Elements's specific military branch for dealing with dungeon-related problems.
Right.
I wonder if they could be caught up with that wildfire the guys at Fort Kingsfang mentioned. Maybe not. That doesn't seem dungeon related.
That was a little further south.
Significantly, that
Yeah,
was
but
near Petri, if you
that's-
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it could be.
Yeah, something like that seems like an all hands on deck kind of situation too.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, well, for now we got a
How
job
is a
to do.
3D map represented on 2D paper? This is.
As Fiona's shuffling through 3 separate maps, you're getting, as you're looking at things, you're getting an idea for what you're looking at, which appears to be a mine of some sort.
Okay.
Though it is noted that this mine was functionally abandoned 30 years ago.
Like fully tapped and then just left there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pity.
I mean, fully tapped doesn't mean there's nothing left, just that there's not enough for anyone to really
Yeah,
put the
Wanna
resources
bother
into
with.
continuing going in there.
fair enough. Once we clean it out, might be worthwhile to give it a once over, see if we can find some more.
Piece here or there that could have been left behind.
Yeah.
But
Can't
if
hurt.
there's anything
Dori's
left,
going
anyways.
to give you a look like I didn't know we were going into mining.
I'm going to need raw material to make stuff, to forge stuff. I can buy it, but we can also find it out in the wild.
Okay.
I would like to
It's not like
point
we'll be in
out-
there long, Dori. Don't worry about it.
I would like to point
sorry,
out
what
as
was
you
that?
guys are heading down the stairs, there is general traffic still going up and down, and conversation to be heard if you want to try and listen in on anything while you move.
Fiona's attention is mostly on studying the map and making sure she doesn't walk into anything, so she's probably not listening too hard on conversations herself.
Dori will be listening to conversations.
Lantern is always eavesdropping on anything.
Okay, go ahead and give me
She
some-
has no manners
For
there.
those listening in, go ahead and give me some perception checks.
Just
Okay.
2 or
Okay.
anybody?
No, just for anybody listening in on conversations around you as you head down the stairs.
Okay.
What was that? Perception?
Yes.
Okay.
Bruno's listening, but it's like background listening, so I'm just going to roll mine at disadvantage because he's
Fair enough.
barely listening.
Vellos is listening
This is kind of
intently.
this is kind of to be looked at as your ability to filter out, 100 conversations from each other.
Dori got a 12, so
18 here. Damn.
he does much better at persuading people to tell her things than from eavesdropping.
Lantern got a 25 on eavesdropping.
Oh, wow.
Bruno got a 19 on disadvantage.
Jeez.
Okay.
Okay.
You got some snoops here.
Yeah. Dori ain't one of them.
No, I'm just gonna say it right now. Yes, use your good rolls on just RP. I love it. Okay, Dori, your mind is feeling kind of distracted as you hear a conversation. People talk frustrations about trying to get things from one of the local Lone Link nations. Another conversation about how these bugs are making trade frustrating. Just a lot of people are just treating it like it's a large dungeon that just cropped up and is being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
In a way, there's tension, yes, because there's a palpable threat. But it's kind of the tension of, not again, is what you're kind of getting from the general mood of the crowd.
Okay.
Okay.
Vellos,
Yes.
knowing where your attention sits, you're able to pick out a few conversations that garner some degree of interest as they talk about when some of the monsters had actually broken through the surface and started causing problems. You listen in, you hear about a during the guard's call to action, you hear about a silver dragoness that had been blasting spells from the roof of a building, while a few humans who were with her had taken towards a little bit of a different approach of not so much fighting monsters, and it was guiding people out of active fighting zones while what's the words? Not directly engaging in the fighting, but discouraging things from getting close.
Yeah, more of a support or rear guard role, I guess.
Kind of. Though you don't seem to hear anything in regards to what sort of magic was being used. It comes across as a blaster caster is going to blaster cast.
Well, glad she took Mom's lessons to heart, at least. And she didn't know she was that prodigious with magic, though.
You do hear another conversation. You're not sure because dragon coloration was never mentioned about a dragon grabbing some of the monsters with its feet, flying into the air and throwing them back to the ground. Your feet are structured for that kind of a thing, but you're not sure if that's something your sister would do or not.
The hell's gotten into her if she's doing that? Okay.
And I'm back.
I haven't heard anything about another dragon in the fracas, so
Lantern, you
Yes.
zero in on an agitated, irate conversation as you go by about how they cannot seem to get this specific mushroom in from the local Lone Link city. Like, they have tried repeatedly. The last time, it was out of season. The time before that, there was a blight that messed up the harvest. This time around, the damn wagon was attacked by those bugs, and all the mushrooms were eaten. And this person just wants to make this mushroom sauce. But for the past, 9 months, they've been unable to get the supplies in. The culinary agitation resonates with your soul.
Oh, my heart goes out to this guy. Wanting an ingredient that you can't find is just the pits.
Big oof for that one.
And this person is about ready to go out there with their skillet and smack their way through to the kingdom, to the city to get their own stuff.
That's some hefty frustration.
Yeah.
Presumably a hefty skillet if he thinks it'd work.
Yeah.
I mean, your typical skillet is not a lightweight kitchen implement.
True. I'm assuming that in these they're mostly copper and cast iron.
Correct.
I'll do it. I got a phone call.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
oh dear.
It's probably fine. Bruno!
Yes.
As you're listening into bits and pieces of conversation here and there, there's a few that strike you up with interest as there is talk about yet another Delver team coming on down.
Oh yeah. It's okay. Hold on, let me check.
With some mild interest in so much that it's another Delver team coming on down without the prospect of treasure in the dungeons, if what rumors go are true.
Oh, I'll message Sharon.
Hmm.
He's on. Huh?
News seems to travel decently quickly.
Yeah, I'll
Well, yes, there are many people, and all of them are talking.
I mean, that's typically how gossip works.
Yeah.
True.
The Fiona will say absent-mindedly, not really knowing what he's talking about.
It's also worth noting that there are still, while this is a large stairwell leading down, there are some shops, places to rest, and such as you go down into the ground.
Yep.
We can practically see Velos's face scrunch up at the word gossip.
Vellos' face practically folding in on itself.
I just got the image of Kermit doing that
Good.
face switch that he does.
Yes.
God.
Excellent. And soon, the atmosphere really changes as you reach the base of the stairs. Things go from people loitering about to a more organized environment. You are met with a guard block. As you look around from where you can see, there is a makeshift command center. In addition to that, in the middle of the floor, you can see what the cranes had at one point been attached to is a large lifting pattern with the ropes sprawled out on either side. The platform itself lays on the ground shattered.
Ooh, they probably had to... Either they cut that or the creatures did.
Yep.
It looks
Might have been
large
them
enough-
to make it harder for the creatures to get up.
It looks, from where you stand, it looks large enough that you could have transported wagons on that. A couple of them at a time.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
A group of soldiers approaches the party and requests you to state your business, as well as informing you that typical guides through the Loam Link are not currently available, and that the west and southern passages are presently blocked off due to the current situation.
Oh, yeah, we're here to fight monsters.
We kind of got sent down here.
One of the soldiers nods.
Fiona will hold up her map and say, "We were told to go here."
He looks. The lead soldier looks to your map before nodding lightly, and it directs you over to the command tent, stating that the officer in command right now will be able to give you further directions on where you need to head to get there and what to expect. And he'll also want to take down your crew name in the event the worst happens.
Dungeon rollers.
Well, he doesn't. That guy doesn't care to know about that. He's pointing you to the command tent and letting you know who
Got
you'll
it.
be talking to.
Tell that guy.
Yes.
Gotcha.
All right. To the command tent!
Yay.
And we enter.
Okay. Do you knock first, or you just come in? Yeah. Yes, there is. You can knock on the wooden support posts around the doorway of the tent.
We'll knock.
Okay. As you knock, you hear a gruff voice telling you that you can come in.
We will.
Okay.
Yep.
Hang on, I'm waiting for myself to load. Okay, as you walk inside, as you are beckoned to enter and walk inside, pardon the pun, as you see a grizzled Ursine leaning over a desk, well, a large table with a map sprawled out, with several pieces placed on the map indicating blockades and movements. As he looks up to your group as you enter, he lets out a
Dori
low
will
sigh before saying, finally another delving team willing to come down here, eh?
Yep.
Yes,
That's
sir.
us.
Dori will step forward and reach out her hand to shake his.
He looks for a moment before taking your hand and shaking it. Your hand
We're
vanishing
here.
in the palm of his.
Yeah, probably my hand and half my arm. Yes, we've agreed to see what we can do about your spider chicken problem.
Out of
She
character,
kinda
that's
gives him
another
a
10 HP
smirk.
out of the final boss. In character, he just kind of stares at you like, what?
Well, you see, when we first ran into
No,
these
don't answer that.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. Your bladling problem.
Okay.
So we have a map. Presumably that's
Yes. Let me see
still
your
accurate.
map.
Fiona will hand it over.
Takes a look at it, looking it over and nodding silently. Okay. This region. Okay. You want to head through the southern tunnel to get here. It was an abandoned mine. I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head what was being mined there. I do know that for a while now it had been, despite its abandonment, it had been used as a staging or storage area for Thieves' Army smuggling operations. We were intending to raid it ourselves at some point, but seems like this problem's kind of taking care of that for us.
One problem dealt with the other, but this one's more problematic.
Yes. So, he thinks for a moment. Because the Thieves' Army was using this area as a smuggling operations, if you find anything, you might find things of use, but if you can do me an extra favor and torch anything you find and bring back any paperwork, I'll slide a little something extra for you.
Okay. Torch anything we find. What if it's useful to us?
I don't want to hear about it.
Got it.
Yeah, we can only destroy everything we find and bring back paperwork. Fiona will nod her head.
Absolutely.
Right. Anything extra to cripple their operations on top of this?
Yep, make sure there's nothing left for the thieves when they come back in.
Dori looks saddened.
If they come back in.
Vellos probably has a puzzled look on his face, but he's staying silent.
Lantern looks like she has a question she's not asking yet. She's not going to be asking this guy the question. She's going to be asking one of you.
Out of character. Most of you, save for Bruno, Dori, and Vellos, and Lantern. So I guess not most of you. That would just leave... Oh dear, that would just leave Fiona and Grigori. Would have understanding that Thieves' Army is a problem.
Okay.
Dori and Bruno have, due to reasons you have different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And Lantern and Vellos sound like you have declared lack of knowledge.
Oh, Lantern has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, I not
Thieves
not
are just
sure Velos would
gross,
know.
Fiona says. Or
Dori
not,
gives
no.
her kind of a look, but
Fiona,
doesn't
no,
say anything.
She doesn't actually say that. Never mind, that's out of character.
Fiona, you would know that
But-
the Thieves' Army is essentially, to give a real-world comparison, a mafia organization, a criminal syndicate.
Fair.
Yeah. But
Lantern
remember,
is on
the
some
mafia-
level.
And Grigori, you would
Grigori-
also have understanding of this due to your rogue training.
Lantern would on some level be picturing a bunch of like burglars from a cartoon in a regiment. Like complete with the sack of money with the dollar sign on it, the striped shirt, the mask, the scowl. Like, she super doesn't understand it all, but she thinks she does, so she will not ask.
Is there anything else we need to know about that area?
Yeah, it's a little bit past the blockade we have set up.
Okay.
They'll let you through, though I
Right.
can't give you any promises on what to expect on the other side of the wall.
Understood.
Got it.
Alright. If we notice any changes to the structure, I'll try to notate it down on our map, Fiona will say.
Sounds good to me. You're dismissed. Go ahead and get out there and cause trouble for them.
It's what
Thank
we
you,
do
sir.
best.
Fiona will grin.
Once we are out and several yards away from the door, like enough that overhearing is not likely, Lantern is going to very quietly tug on Fiona's sleeve and whisper in her ear. So what he was saying is we can take stuff if we find it, as long as we don't tell anybody that we find it or let it become his problem, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, thank you, Fiona.
So long as nobody else can use it that would cause them problems, he doesn't care, so long as it's gone.
Okay, great.
Once we are out of earshot of folks, Velos is going to speak up. This might be my lack of broader knowledge speaking, but what is the Thieves' Army?
They're the army that mostly stopped the invasion 12 years ago.
The one that my father and her brother were in.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were always they were good to them and good to us.
Hmm?
Unfortunately, there's some bad elements in there, but
huh.
they treated Bryce well. Tried to keep him alive.
Looked after me after my father either died or vanished.
Yeah,
His death is now in suspicion, but
but they looked after you.
yep.
And they were good to my family. I mean, we didn't need the same kind of looking after you did, but
I was an orphan. You
yeah,
were
exactly.
your family was a full family with plenty of adults that could look after the rest.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, we didn't need that kind of looking
Yeah.
after, but they were good to us anyway.
Hmm.
They always made sure that things were good. By the way, on a historical note, a lot of people would have felt that way about the Mafia, especially back when they first started.
It's a mixed feeling situation. You don't get
It
called the
is.
Thieves' Army without earning that
Oh,
name.
absolutely.
It's on par
Absolutely.
with those incredibly corrupt politicians who are still very well beloved because they actually feed people.
It's more like
Exactly.
on par. I don't want to use any real world examples because we would fall into political territory, but it's effectively a mafia organization that stopped doing crime and started fending off an invasion force and then went back to doing crime.
Yeah. Exactly.
Complicated feelings there.
Yeah, Fiona will wrinkle her nose a little bit about it, but she won't make any negative comments since it's, again, complicated.
You don't have
Right.
that many personal feelings about it. You just know that you generally have not heard good stuff about them, and you think that the opinion and feelings of your friend who is here might slightly trump your non-personal opinion.
Vellos still looks.
He knows that there are a lot of members of the army that cause harm to other people. Just because they haven't caused harm to her friends is negligible, but it's not worth starting an argument over.
Yeah.
Is her opinion.
And Dori will understand that some of the people in the army weren't so great. Her brother wound up in it because he got in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And was doing
Fiona's
stuff he
only
shouldn't have
comment
been
will
doing.
be is, I'm glad they've served you well.
Lantern is still picturing cartoon burglars, but now they're like serving soup and giving pats on the head to a young Bruno. And it's a beautiful mental image, and it's a pity none of y'all can see it.
Vellos
love
still
it.
looks puzzled,
Yeah.
but more thoughtful now.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, don't know what to think
They're a
right
bit
now.
of a mixed bag, but I'm glad they were good to you guys. And that is where Fiona will leave it.
A bit might be a tiny bit of an understatement.
Yeah. They looked
They were
out
good
for
to
her.
us. We aren't going to say the organization as a whole was good.
I'll reserve judgment until I encounter them.
My
Probably
parents
for the
were always
best.
skeptical of them, but grateful they looked after Bryce, and they always said they did a good job with Bruno. Mostly.
It's probably like any other group of people where there are a lot of good people and a lot of jerks.
More than likely.
Most of your authority figures will lean on the side of jerks, but
Eh.
As you're walking and talking, an acrid smell enters your noses. It's a familiar stench like that of, well, whenever Vellos uses Searing Smite, though this has a more chemical scent to it. As you approach the southern blockade,
Oh, something's burning.
torches line the walls, but you soon come to realize it's not the smell from the torches, but you see a group of soldiers along several lines of walls hurling flasks inside of rough openings along the walls.
What the hell?
My guess is bladelings came through those holes.
yep, that would be my guess.
And they're doing their best to set the holes on fire to prevent them from doing so again.
I will say all of you will recognize the typical flask alchemist fire comes in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
As you
It
hear
works,
some
it works.
rather... You didn't think things could scream like that coming out of those holes.
Oh, goody.
But it's amazing
Oh,
what being
that's
set
nice.
ablaze will do to you.
that's
Right?
a
Especially in a hole.
That's a
Where there's
lovely
nowhere to really
sound.
go.
Yeah.
I'd feel worse about this if I didn't have first-hand knowledge of what they can do and
Yeah.
experience.
This might come...
Yeah.
However, the next thing might come to surprise to you all, but Lantern, you know this. caves are actually god-awful for acoustics. So you
Oh yeah,
realize-
it's sometimes it echoes, sometimes it just eats the noise.
So you're realizing these noises vanish quickly as a distance thing rather than anything else as you get close to the southern wall. And are met by the officer on deployment there.
Guess we don't have that as a mission accoutrement.
Dori will walk up to the officer in charge. Hello, we're the dungeon rollers. We were sent down here to help with your ladling problem.
We were tasked with clearing out this location. Fiona will hold up
Yes.
the map.
He looks down to it. He looks down to the map, thinking for a moment before nodding. Alright, that one. Okay, that's a little bit deeper in, not anything too egregious, but now you'll recognize it on the signage, if the signage is still up. It should be called Wormwell Mine.
Wormwell
Wormwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you go past those walls, we ain't helping you. But at the moment, it should be clear. This last batch tried tunneling in against us again, but
They like to do that.
Yeah, we got more crates of alchemist fire, so they're
Fun.
welcome to keep trying to come through. Just makes things easier for us.
God, I wonder just how many nests of these things are down here.
We're hoping it's just one large dungeon in and of itself, and not a whole bunch of smaller nests or dungeons.
From what we've seen, these things are like giant flippin' ants in the way they behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to notice that as well. But we'll deal with that if it ever becomes a problem. You guys best get moving through the door. He turns about and shouts an order to open up the door to let your group through.
All right.
After
Fiona
we
will
go
move quickly.
After we go through the gate, Lantern is going to draw a card.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that. As
Oh, did
the
I?
gate is open wide enough.
And Dori will spend the moment to
Did you already do that?
get an audience.
Pretty sure you already. Did you not already do
I don't see it.
that? Go ahead and roll.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it current. How many?
You are in an active war zone, so you're gonna have a fun time with this one.
Oh,
Yeah. This place is haunted. Choose among 7 ghosts.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I think Vellos is going to activate the daylight spell on the drift globe and have it follow him.
The daylight or just the light effect?
Maybe for now, just the light effect until we get closer.
Okay.
But
And
once-
Bruno will
so-
go over to Fiona and activate Vigilant Blessing.
Ooh,
3
that gives me
stewards,
advantage on
1
Initiative.
scoundrel,
Yeah.
3 scholars.
I got a card that is going to be useful if I wild shape.
Oh,
Oh, neat.
What does it do?
It gives, if when I use the card as part of using the wild shape feature, your beast shapes natural weapons smolder with glowing embers. Whenever you hit a creature with a natural weapon, the target takes an extra 1d4 fire damage, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be ignited. Until the creature takes an action to douse the fire, the target takes 1d6 fire damage at the start of every turn.
Interesting.
That sounds very useful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should I wild shape, it will be.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Dori,
Yes.
you're used to a variety of ghosts, a kind of all walks of life manifestation.
Right.
All of these look like soldiers in various states of maiming. Seems like you've pulled up a fresh batch.
Yeah.
You could say they're dying for attention.
That is
That was
awful.
awful.
I'll be here for the next 3.5 hours.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm not apologizing.
frankly, wouldn't expect you to.
Good. Need to make sure expectations are set and maintained. Okay. Okay. What's the drift globe do again? I know it gives a light effect. I just don't recall off the top of my head its overall light radius.
Cause it to emanate light or daylight.
I believe the daylight was a once-a-day effect.
Yeah, daylight's
Yeah.
once a day. I can speak another command word as an action to make the illuminated globe rise into the air and float no more than 5 feet off the ground.
Your command
hovers
words are
the-
hey and listen.
God damn it! The globe hovers in this way until you or another creature grabs it. If you move more than 60 feet from the globe, it follows you until it is within 60 feet of you. It takes the shortest route to do so. If prevented from moving, the globe sinks gently to the ground.
Yes, right
The
now
light
it's just
goes out.
It's just kind of lagging behind you just a little bit.
Maybe
Behind you, above your head, the perfect positioning to not mess up any night vision you might have developed.
Yeah, above the head sounds good.
The cave. The cave, as you walk through, is definitely a carved out one. At some point, it may have been a natural cave, but it's clear it has been carved out and expanded into a sort of underground road to allow plenty of traffic in either direction. At the moment,
Well, that
though,
makes walking easy.
At the moment, however, it is quiet.
Well, that does make sense.
Yeah.
It is quiet. There are signs of battle, but from what you can see, there's no remains of any fallen. The closest signs are red and blackish-blue splatterings on the ground, and discarded broken bolts and arrows.
Yeah, considering these things pretty much eat everything, that's no surprise.
The occasional shield and blade tossed aside. At least they're good at recycling. You can't fault them there.
Not really the first thing I'm thinking of with them, but
Hey, at least they're on a perpetual zero waste journey. You can't be angry about that.
I can be angry about anything I goddamn well want to be, sir.
Fair enough.
Agreed.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this will be perfect. Okay, as you're moving, you go down a few different pathways, or not, you go past a few different pathways, not down them, until you eventually come across the signage for Wormwell Mine. I kept wanting to say Worm Mill. It's like, that's not the name.
No.
It's because of molemill well.
Yes, that basically.
Ah, that's where we're supposed to go.
And there was, at one point, you can tell that had been boarded up, but those boards have been smashed inwards.
Oh,
Oh dear.
yep. That, not very good sign.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Smashed inward, and at one point, they may have been graffitied.
Well,
And-
that's not too surprising.
Now Vellos will change the drift globe to the daylight spell.
How long did the daylight effect last?
Should be an hour, I think. Let me double check.
Because before you do that, I'm gonna actually go ahead and give you guys a little something.
Oh my god, a little
Dang.
something.
Yes.
Ooh, cool.
Daylight's 3rd level or something, isn't it? No? Yes, it is. Okay, good.
Okay, so
Yep.
Okay.
here are you guys.
1 hour duration.
One of these tiles is indicative of 40 feet. Right now, I'm just going to make a little dashed thing here so you can see it better, but this is not a thing. This is just for visibility's sake.
Mhm.
Oh, that's big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mine. It's going to be huge.
Use a
The map consists of 3 pages.
The map consists of 3 pages.
We probably won't be exploring this place in only 1 hour.
Which, as you,
But,
Fiona,
yeah,
begin
no.
to understand, as a 3D map, you might not be needing one of those as you yourself and nobody in the party. So much for this being green. That looks black. Anyways, as I was saying, as the party, you look around, nobody's capable of tunneling through walls naturally.
No.
So,
No.
yeah, perfect. I'm just... Okay. Just for the sake of visibility, just highlighting boxes with orange. These aren't walls or anything, these are just to make the tiles easier to see.
Mhm.
Alright, well, in that case, I'll save the daylight use for when we really need it.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like a big room.
Yep. Or when we finally find them to fight them.
Okay. So,
But doesn't mean I can't have the light spell going as well
absolutely,
myself.
the light spell will be useful, but especially since this place is not illuminated.
Yep, gonna
Proceeding into the mines.
yeah, just gonna use the light spell on Velos's mace.
Okay. Well, I mean, the drift globe should have just continuous use on the light spell.
Yeah, It is, but doesn't help. It can't hurt to have a second source of light.
Okay.
Actually,
That's what you
Dori
wanna
will
do.
put up. Dori can give us 4 torch-sized lights that stay within 120 feet of her. So just to give us a little bit more light.
Okay.
So what's the orange for? Just
The
to
orange
signify
is
where
just
the.
to make the tiles more visible. The black lines are the actual walls.
Okay. So we're coming up to a fork in the road right away.
And the 5 is just me showing off a D5.
Heh.
Cool.
I could also show off the D3 instead.
So since I have the map, and we're coming up to a fork in the road,
Yes.
does one way lead to a dead end, or does and one way continue further in, or do they both continue further in?
They both continue further in for a little while, though as you look at the map, if memory serves, this should only go to about this far.
It only extends about 80 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if the map serves accurate.
So
Okay.
we should probably at
This
least
way
start in the other
should be a
direction.
dead end, but we can investigate it first, make sure there haven't been any changes,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
anybody
hurt.
wants to.
I think that makes sense. And there
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
something in there.
I can move my lights up to the end just to see that it is the end.
Okay. So now you guys want to move over here.
That's what I'll do.
Have this path go further through here. With the lights going over here, you do see that this does in fact end here with some just debris that nobody bothered to clear out. So it's kind of like they had started mining whatever they had been mining there. If you guys had to give it a guess, they probably tapped out over here, went a little further just to check, and then stopped mining when they didn't come across anything else.
Okay.
Is there anything buried under the rubble, like that somebody
It's
left for later?
just chunks of rock that have been dumped. To
Okay,
there.
so unless they were saving those chunks of rock for later, probably no.
No, probably not. Progressing further along, you will find you will find that this area here was marked as a living area for the miners
Okay.
after it had been widened out. And that there is not anything in this direction here. What's worth noting, as you do come over here to look at things, it looks like they've probably been using a tarp at some point, but the tarp itself is no longer there, just the supporting hooks along the ceiling. If you guys want to head in that direction to check things out.
Yeah, because we can't really see around the corner from where we're
Yeah,
at.
probably
Yeah.
not a bad idea to check it out.
Best
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
thorough.
Indeed.
Yep.
Heading...
Can I do something real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I use my echo to look down the cave at all?
Let me check. How does your echo work? Because it's not a typical... it's not a standard thing. Let's see here, Astral Echo. Probably SGC that crosses 120 feet use. Yeah, you can go ahead and 3 uses of astral echoes. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Okay, to everyone else, Grigori just kind of looks like he's just stretching his jaw for a second there. To you, you've just let out a you've let out a sonic screech across the astral sea in your general surroundings. And in a quick look around, while you see a few things you're familiar with in the astral sea. Some fish-like creatures drifting past you, swirls of etherealness. Nothing in the immediate 120 feet around you stand out as anything atypical or concerning.
Okay.
Mind you, just that means 40, 80, 120. So you know that you can see, astral creatures swimming along over here, eddy currents here, but nothing that you would consider worth informing your group over.
Okay. Each square is 40 feet.
Yes,
Damn, that's a really big cave.
it is a mine.
Okay.
Lantern, watching him sit there opening his jaw to no effect, finds herself overcome by the urge to yawn.
Oh, don't start, Lantern.
Damn it! You had to say something.
This will be used to great effect.
No. That would go farther, but I guess not. Did not realize each one was 40 feet.
Yep. Okay, so as you guys enter the living area, there looks to be a few old crates, a couple of tossed aside. I don't want to say tossed aside, more like folded up, set aside, and forgotten cots. You know the kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The foldable frame with just a sheet supported over it. There's no padding there. You're basically in a hammock held up by 4 pegs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basic, even Lantern doesn't want to take them.
Mining accommodations.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody wish to examine the area?
Oh yeah, I'm checking to see if anything got forgotten that's more interesting than a cot.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead and give me an
Vellos will give-
investigation check.
And those check 2 or just Lantern?
I'll let 2 people roll investigations, since you're the one who spoke up about this.
Okie dokie. Oh. That was my character sheet by mistake.
Oh damn, that's a 19.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't normally do that good on investigation because I'm not very good at it.
Oh! Natural frickin' 1. That's weird.
Oh.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Vellos, despite it being a bright, glowing, floating object, you've lost track of your drift globe.
Wait, what?
Everybody else is right behind him.
Wait, where did it? I'm just picturing it floating behind his head, following his head movements.
Just as it's designed to do.
Oh god.
Look, it's his first time using it.
Misplaced the brightly glowing item. Lantern. Over around here, you find some. In your digging around, you open up a crate full of dust and are barraged by a few moths. As you just kind of push the crate aside in annoyance, you find on the floor, or not on the floor, on the wall near the floor, a few little pictographic symbols you don't recognize.
I missed the last word of that. I don't what them?
Recognize. You don't recognize the meaning. You would recognize typical beast folk pictograms. These seem to be a little different in what they indicate.
You guys, what you notice is the following. What? What? Ah, nuts. What? Ooh. Hello.
What do you got there, Lantern?
Find something?
Little pictures of stuff I don't know what it is.
Huh.
And this is on the floor?
On the wall near the floor.
Lantern is going to get a piece of paper out of her pocket and take a rubbing.
Easy enough because they are engraved.
That's what I thought. And she is going to sort of bounce out of the spot she's been doing this in, unfurling the paper proudly like she is showing you her macaroni art.
Yeah.
Who else is looking at this?
Bruno will take a look.
So will Dori.
Else might be distracted by his missing globe.
There's only so many people who can look at a piece of paper at a time, so Fiona's gonna make sure that they're not missing anything on the maps.
Okay. Anyone else going to be showing the picture? Because Bruno, Dori, you don't recognize what the symbols could mean either.
Once they say that they do not recognize it, Lantern immediately moves on and shows the next person she sees.
Probably.
Look.
Dori will step away from it.
What was that,
Give
Grigori?
other people room.
I'll look at it.
Okay, Grigori. You recognize this symbol. It takes you a few moments to read it with lanterns bouncing around. A little bit longer than expected, but you quickly come to recognize what. It also doesn't help that what you're looking at is a negative of the typical imagery.
Because she rubbed paper over it and is showing you that.
The dark areas are light and the light areas are darkened.
Oh.
But once you come to realize that you're looking at a negative and you're looking at the right spots where they should be, it's a pointer symbol.
Oh, okay.
It's suggesting, yes, for you specifically, you would recognize this as Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
It is a pointer symbol indicating that there's a drop site nearby.
Oh, which way is it pointing?
It is indicating in this direction.
Okay.
But there is nothing along the wall here, so you can safely presume it is not in here.
Okay. Can I do an investigation on the wall itself?
You could. Lanterns checked this wall here. You could check along this wall.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay, no bonus to investigation. Okay. So I get a +3. So my investigation is intelligence. I get a +3 to it, but I'm not
Okay.
proficient in it,
You
right?
just roll. It doesn't look like it, so yeah, you just get the +3 to your investigation.
Okay, make sure I'm reading that right.
Yep.
$17.
Okay, 17. As you study along the wall here, along here, you do find another symbol over in this corner. So you are getting an idea that it should be somewhere in this direction.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna look at that symbol.
Only problem is that the path this way goes. Come on, pen. The path heads this way and this way. And kind of stops here.
Or T section. Okay.
You have a T section in front of you.
T junction. Okay. Okay. All right.
As you approach
The
the
other-
T section, you hear a okay. As you approach the T section, you hear a scuttling noise from this direction, but you cannot tell the distance.
Okay. If I use my echo again, will I be able to see it?
Unlikely, as you know that this would only reveal things that exist fully or in part within the astral sea.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Damn. It sounds like a bad echo.
No, not. Yeah, I mean, it is, but not quite. This would be more useful for something that's, say, a portal, a creature that's using etherealness, something like that.
Okay.
Or
And
something
that second
that's-
symbol is pointing towards the T section?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the group and let them know what I heard about the little scuttling noise.
Ooh, I know some things that scuttle.
Yeah, I can think of some things we might be thinking about that scuttle.
Right?
Maybe we should go de-scuttle them.
Yeah.
Yes, we can come back here at any time.
Okay, so
Yep.
you guys want to head in this direction?
Yeah, we got scuttlers.
Yep.
Yeah, better to knock the scuttlers out before we get involved in anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide too.
Moments. You have a path. From your illumination, you have a pathway in this direction. As you head down the walls, or as you head down the mine, you don't see anything that could be a result of scuttling, but what you do see is the evenly placed support brackets here. the typical wooden support lines. These things have been. Some of the ones like along here look like they're in rougher condition and have been covered in a brown, smooth, resinous substance.
Oh no.
Oh, fun.
We got one of the big ones, at least.
Yes, they're
Yep.
definitely here.
Mm.
What's to note, it is definitely placed onto the support structures that look like they were in worse condition than others.
Deliberately reinforcing it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Because they are
Yep.
stupid smart for creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to die, obviously.
What comes to your frustration is that as you move forwards, your pathway turns this way, which is in line with the map.
Okay.
It should go further. How do you guys want to approach the turn in the wall?
Can I peek around the corner?
Sure.
You want me to roll for it?
If you want to roll, are you just kind of poking your head around? Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll me a stealth roll.
Yay, stealth roll. So,
Yay.
okay, let's see if I do this correctly. One D6, right? Because I'm proficient in it.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm getting the hang of this.
Yeah, you got it.
$23?
Alright, should have been a plus. What's your dex? Yeah, that should have been a +4, not a +7. So a dirty 20 on that.
Oh.
That's right.
Okay, my bad.
No.
Right or wrong?
Yeah, no, you are. You guys are watching Grigori, and he's in his footsteps. He does step on a few loose rocks around the ground. He does not displace them as he steps on them.
Nice.
These are careful, calculated steps as he moves towards and peeks around the corner. Fiona, your map suggests that the mine should head at least past this tile another 80 feet. Grigori, what you see... Oops. What you see is another... Oh, come on. There we go. Is another 40 feet. And then what appears to be a mix of rock, a wall that appears to be a mix of rock and resin, with a few tunnels leading into it, but you're suspicious of the ability of anyone to fit through those tunnels except for Lantern and Fiona. And even they would be crawling.
That's a small tunnel. All right.
There's a few of them in the wall, but just for Fiona's sake, the map says it should go out this much further, but it does not.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna let them know what I saw.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
If they haven't seen themselves yet.
Well, Fiona's not going to sneak around the. Is not going to sneak around the corner because she's not She's confident in her ability to sneak, but she just saw how well Grigori did it, and she doesn't want to do anything that could blow his cover after he just did so well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're just gonna walk over and look around?
No.
Okay.
She's not going to move.
Got it. Okay.
However, she is, based on what Grigori says, make a small notation on the map indicating a small, bladeling tunnel connects to this part here.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll have to watch our back when we're.
But also indicates small. Because based on Grigori's explanation, it is indeed small.
Yeah.
Especially considering we know how big bladelings get.
so,
Yeah.
There we go. Tunnel.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too similar to the orange, does it?
It's a little darker for me.
Okay. Want to make sure it
a little
doesn't look
darker.
too similar, kind of like how the green looks like the black.
And because it's a circle, it's easily distinguishable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have a little bladeling tunnel going in that, or a little tunnel going in that direction. A few of them in the walls, but there's nothing indicative of anything else coming in from that way.
I, Lantern, am happy to scout the tunnels if that is what we would like done.
I don't know if any one of us should be going into those tunnels alone with these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like a great idea.
Would it make any difference to you if I was transformed into a wild boar or something?
I don't think a wild boar would fit in those tunnels, considering they're
Yeah,
barely large enough for us, Lantern.
Yeah, I think you want something a little smaller.
Smaller and snappier, huh? I'm sure I could think of something.
Lantern, I will say right now that you will be isolated if you go through those tunnels and come across trouble.
Yeah.
This is my
There's
warning
the-
to you. Because again, nobody except for you and Fiona can fit in those tunnels right now.
And Fiona is actively saying, no. Do not go in there.
Yeah, I don't think that's such a great idea.
No. We need to stick together where at all times.
Yeah.
Then we should keep looking until we find a place we can all fit.
Yes.
Yeah. I think in the
These
end of
mines are
things-
large and bladelings are smart.
Yeah, we very well may want to just collapse this at the end of things, but for right now, we leave it alone.
Would you like me to use mold earth to put a bunch of dirt in the tunnel so it's harder for them to get out?
No real dirt in here.
I don't think it does work on rubble, so.
Yeah. I think we leave it alone for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leaving it alone is fine.
Heading back down the tunnel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're back at the T-junction.
Yep.
And as a reminder,
According to those symbols you saw, Grigori, you said that there was supposed to be a drop point in this direction?
Yeah.
Fiona will say pointing at the wall.
Yeah, the second one, yeah, they're both pointing towards at the T section.
There another one here around the T section? Can you check?
Yeah, I'm gonna check for another one.
Okay. Knowing what you're looking for, go ahead and roll.
You said roll?
Yep.
Okay. Making sure. I was looking at my Character sheet. There's no bonus to that, right? It's just a straight 20.
It's just in. It's a blah, 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 blah. It's your 1d20 plus 3. It's an investigation.
Oh, okay, that makes.
Yeah.
Now I know.
So you're adding your intelligence. 15?
15?
That's plenty enough to find you. The next of these symbols, it's been carved into a support bracket on this side of the post, but you know it's indicating in this direction.
Oh.
Where we just came?
No, it's
No, going down more. Down,
Going up.
towards him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, up. Yes. Up, yeah.
up for you guys, down for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay, mirrored views.
Alright. I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna let him know that it's that way. It's pointing that way.
Okay. That is good to know.
Yep.
Okay,
This is just piquing my curiosity at this point.
so
Right?
heading this way.
Away we go.
So, Fiona, according to your map, this area does widen out, and there's a stairwell in here, which it does widen out.
Okay, we're coming up to a wider area, but there are stairs here.
Oh, goody.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So the mining whatever they've been mining for, it did go in a couple of different directions.
Dori keeps her hand on her blade as they walk.
What was that?
I said Dori keeps her hand on her dagger as they walk.
Dori, as
She's
you
on
rest
high
your
alert.
hand on Spell Talon, you hear a faint whispering in your ear that there is something in the walls just on the other side of you. Or just on the other side of the wall to you.
Dori will say, I think I'm hearing something in the wall.
Go ahead and
Probably paralleling us.
anybody else want to check? Or do you want to confirm that for yourself, Dori, or are you just saying it outright?
I'm just saying it outright.
Okay.
I would like to put my ear against the wall and see if I hear anything.
Lantern, as you brace against the wall to listen in, you don't hear anything.
Maybe further down. I don't hear anything.
Well, there are echoes and such in here.
What was that?
I said there are echoes and things. You know, it's a cave. Weird echoes.
Okay.
Should I maybe gently knock on the wall and see if it makes a hollow noise?
You could try.
I am going to do that.
Sounds like a wall.
Pretty
You're not
sure this
hearing- you're not
is
hearing-
genuine rock.
Dori points. at
Fiona's
her
gonna
ear.
look through the maps and make sure there's not anything indicated being on the other side of the wall, and anyone for other maps.
If you had to give it a guess, you're standing. There's a good 40 feet of space between you and the living area of solid rock wall. You're not sure what kind of rock, but it's solid rock.
It's only supposed to be rock there, according to the maps.
Bladeling's tunnel.
They do, I know. But there's no way for us to get there, is what I'm saying.
No, there's not. This is more of a stay alert than what we can do something about. And her fur is probably standing on edge at this point. And she looks extremely alert.
As you should.
Can I investigate the wall?
Go ahead and roll investigation.
I'm just curious. Oh god, 7.
Yeah, no, that's a wall.
Okay,
Also, Vellos, you
good.
found your drift globe.
And that's where it was.
Yeah.
Been there the whole time.
I don't think this is something that we need to stop and address right now. I'm just saying, I think the bladelings are in the walls.
Okay, keep an eye and ear out then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's creepy as hell.
I'm gonna look around the corner.
Fairly large room. What at one point here had been a central structural support is now a kind of hourglass-shaped pillar of resin that had been built around the structural support. If you had to give it a guess, you can't. Well, the resin does typically have a translucent property. It's so thickly applied you can't really see through it in this case.
Oh.
Mm.
Anything on the roof?
Stone roof. You see a few little glints of something you're not sure of, but largely it's just largely it's a rough stone ceiling with wooden support posts going to the walls and then leading into that large pillar of resin.
So the resin is only on the pillar in the middle?
Yes, but it's been liberally applied to the point where you definitely cannot see through it. It's a very dark, brown, glassy looking material, but despite its smooth, glassy appearance, it's got a toughness along the lines of something like granite.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna step in the room and look down the hallway.
Okay,
I
so
guess.
the rest of the group moving with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So entering this room, you have a stairwell leading here. You have these 4 walls around you. You've got the resinous pillar in the middle, and you have another pathway leading here.
Probably
I
clear
want
out
to clear the
4 by
floor
4.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any more of those markers, Grigori?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna look for another thieves' cant.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Anyone else looking around in the room for anything?
Lantern would like to indulge in a chemical experiment.
All right, what are you doing? And what do you have?
What I have is a vial of oily purple water.
Okay. Yes, you have
And
that.
I would- Huh?
I said, yes, you have that.
I do have that. I also have a big pillar in the middle of the room that's covered in resin.
Okay.
And I want to pour a couple drops of oily purple water on the resin to see if it reacts in any way.
The material is non-reactant. It just kind of slides off in a way
Lantern.
that fluid would slide off a surprisingly smooth surface.
Lantern watches it, scribbles down several notes in her notes, underlines something, and folds it up and puts it back in her inventory.
Okay. You investigation check, Grigori?
Yep.
Okay.
19. Wow.
Oof.
Your next symbol you find leads you to right here along this wall.
Okay.
At the wall itself?
Yes.
Ooh.
However, it leads you to a drop. Not drop, but it's not another directional pointer. It's just. It's a more typical symbol for safe house that you're used to.
Oh. Okay. No, I'm gonna investigate that wall right there.
Okay. And what's everyone else doing?
Dori is looking around carefully. She'll peek down the stairs, and she's going to peek around, or she's going to stealthily go down that hallway just a little bit to see what she can see on down.
Okay, so looking at the stairs, they have been converted into a ramp.
Right, these things hate stairs.
Ah, okay.
Any quadruped hates stairs. How do you think a
Okay.
hexapod fares?
Incorrect. My cat loves stairs.
Okay, any large quadruped hates stairs.
Especially going down them. Going up is apparently easier.
Yes, the stairs have been converted into a ramp. This hallway goes further this way.
Okay.
Your roll on the investigation is a 7. You're not finding anything, but you feel like there's got to be something here.
Yeah. Can
Want
do
me
it
to-
again? Unless you want to try.
Somebody else
Sure.
can roll.
I can try to help. Vellos can try to help Grigori out.
Okay. Investigation.
$24.
Okay.
Nice.
You can't blame Vellos. Vellos, you can't blame Grigori for missing this, as you would have almost missed it too, if it weren't for the fact one of your pliable detachable shield scales snatches in a nearly invisible hairline crack along the wall.
Yeah, son of a... Oh. Wow, that's practically invisible. Holy crap, no wonder that was hard to spot.
Even in the
Find something?
illumination of your drift globe.
Yeah, I think I found it. I only caught it because it caught one of my scales.
Oh.
And he'll point it out.
I'm gonna shake Velos's hand. Thank you.
Does it look like a door or just a crack?
It
Or
looks, feeling along the outline, it looks to be some kind of doorway.
Can you push on it?
Oh. Also,
Applying your
Give it
weight
a-
to it, it doesn't seem to move.
uh,
So you're probably gonna need to look around for another way to move it.
yeah, there's probably a more
Some kind of a
discreet way to
trigger.
open it. Switch or something.
Looking around and looking at the surrounding area, there are a few things of note around this wall. There's a discarded pickaxe, a couple of old crates. You see another pickaxe, though it's sticking partway out of the resin. It's on the ground, not like standing up, but
Okay.
Lantern is
Probably
going to futilely struggle with the pickaxe in the resin.
so as Lantern's struggling with an immovable object,
Uh, you want the crates or the pickaxe, Grigori?
Crates, I guess. Crates.
okay.
All right, Vellos will take the pickaxe then.
Vellos, you pick up the pickaxe and nothing happens.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Well, okay, I will say you are now holding the pickaxe. It looks well used.
Ooh, Vellos, can I borrow that?
Why?
I want to try something.
Lantern?
Please don't
We-
break any of the supports.
I don't plan
Yeah,
to
we
break a
don't wanna-
support. That would be ridiculous. I have no intention of breaking a support.
Then what do you need it
You're-
for?
She's probably going to get the pickaxe out with the other pickaxe.
Eh,
I
Lantern nods excitedly, delighted that Fiona has recognized her strategy.
think that risks destroying the support, or at least weakening it. I don't.
I
think
mostly
we
want to
really
see
do
if it can
that.
break the resin at all. I won't
The
go for a
pickaxe and the
load-bearing-
resin are on the floor.
Well, the one that Vellos is holding isn't. So I wanna see if I can sort of mine the pickaxe out of the resin with it and see if that actually breaks the resin. And if so, then we should take the pickaxes with us for when there's resin. But if Vellos would prefer to try the pickaxe because he doesn't trust other people with it and he knows a lot about caves because he's super smart, then I'm very excited to see him use a pickaxe also. That would still be a big win for me.
Grigori, as you
the r-
look
Sorry.
through boxes, you're not sure what you're looking for until you go to climb on top of a smaller box to look inside of a larger one when your foot sinks down. And you hear a rumbling. Well, not so much a rumbling, but it's just a light click come from the almost invisible doorway.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I think you might have found the trigger.
Yeah, I found
Mhm.
something.
Hey, Lantern, we can come back to the pickaxe. Grigori figure out how to open the door.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it's moving anywhere.
Yeah, Vellos is just gonna stow the pickaxe he found for now.
How does the door look now? Does it actually look like it's opening, or
Nothing looks like it's changed. You just heard a click.
Fiona goes and pushes on the door.
It slowly, because this is still a solid slab of stone somebody converted into a door, slowly slides open.
It's unlocked! Fiona will say as she pushes it and walks into the door at the same time.
Maybe
there
Fiona is the
no
one who should try to
door
mine
now?
up the pickaxe. Fiona's very strong.
What was that, Vellos?
Is there enough room for Vellos to
There
help?
is plenty of. Vellos, you are almost a large-sized creature. Fiona is a small-sized creature. There is plenty of space.
Yeah, Vellos is gonna silently move to help Fiona push the door.
Fiona, suddenly this solid slab of stone is moving a whole lot easier.
Oh, excellent. Once the door is open, Fiona will take a moment to add notes about this door to the map.
while she's
gonna-
doing
As
that,
well as the trigger mechanism.
while she's doing that, Dori is peeking through the door to see if she can see anything.
Me too.
Alright, peeking inside, it is kind of a small room. Pen, come on. You are a new pen.
Ken says no.
It is a somewhat small room, but it leads into a small area like this. It's got a small kind of sleeping area off to the side, several newer looking crates and barrels, and a few so we got some basically bunk sleeping here. A little bed, pillow, little pillow. So we got some bunk sleeping here for looks to be about 4 people. You got some boxes here and some barrels here. And then you have a kind of a table over here.
Not for the rather prodigious tunneling, I'd be inclined to use this as an actual safe room. It is. Probably only use it if we really need to.
A few stools around here.
So, are there any tables that may perhaps have paper of any description on them?
There is right here is indeed a table with some papers in here.
I am going to go look and see what those papers might be.
Okay, what languages do you speak?
Not many. I've got Common and Draconic and Druidic.
You don't recognize the writing on here.
In that case, I sort of make sure they're all lined up nicely while stacking them into what appears to be coordinated piles.
Dori's going to look over at them. She also speaks Alamanian and Lesrunish.
Once she's done peering at her map, Fiona will also look.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is written in Alamesian.
Okay.
Ah!
So, we got over into the roll 20. We have the first note here. I'm just having to correct my typos.
Oh no, not typos.
Yes.
Oh dear. Okay.
Interesting.
We have, is Kay Kent, you think?
Oh, I really hope not.
And what was the guy he was with? Was it Martin he was with before?
No, it was
Adrian.
Adrian, that's right.
Says
Okay.
Lantern, her eye is adjusting a pair of reading glasses she is not presently wearing.
Okay.
Vellos is gonna check out some of those newer crates.
Martin. Why does that name sound familiar?
It does.
Mm,
But I don't have a Martin written down.
Even if she ought to, Lantern does not know a Martin.
I'm bad at keeping track of people we've met in these.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem familiar to me. Can't have been one of the scouts, right?
I mean, it could have been.
Think so.
But I don't think so.
Well, it's clear the last person here was here in time to hear the bladelings coming around.
Yep.
And there's the other one you should be able to see.
Oh.
Like I said, I had to fix my typos.
You know, I can't really blame them for that reaction.
Bug-looking lizard's a good way to describe them, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad
Let's-
description.
Let's just stick with Bladeling. We're confusing more people than anything, I think.
Sometimes it is important to be confused so you can add to your perspective.
Anybody gonna read it out loud?
Fiona will. Fiona will read the first note, go and say, Martin, we got your weapons and other good stuff dropped off. We're done here, and we're going home. Been hearing skittering noises about, and if it's a dungeon, then I sure as shit don't want anything else to do with it. Best of luck to you and your crew. K. And this other one appears to be a response, and it is much more angry. Fiona will add on. And she reads, K, stop using our damn names for the last time. Also, shit. Yeah, it's a dungeon. Fuck your goods. Fuck the thieves' army supplies. A had her arm bit off by a damn bug-looking lizard before L put a pickaxe through his head. We're leaving. And again, fuck you. M. Martin, I guess. Elle managed to staunch A's bleeding, so she'll be fine, but we aren't paid for this. We're quitting. And tell the boss he can swivel on Obed's if he think he can get us to work another run down here.
I don't think Martin was very happy.
No, that last bit was just downright unnecessary, though.
Poor
Yeah.
workplace satisfaction.
Oh, that did not need that mental image.
And now it's there with you
I
forever.
feel bad for whoever A is, Fiona will say.
Could that have been Adrian? Oh no, that A was a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And I don't remember Adrian losing his arm, and he also seemed to be working with the bugs.
well, that's true.
I don't think these guys are with the Spiteful Sister cult. Or at least
No.
No,
this
they're
group
probably. They don't even look like they're with the thieves' army.
Not anymore. Fiona will
Well,
say.
there's that.
They were, but not anymore.
Well, not necessarily. They might just have been suppliers.
Well, speaking of, let's see if they left anything behind. Vellos is going to check out the newer crates.
They're relatively newer. You can't tell how old they are, but there's a few barrels and a few crates, which you should pop and open first.
Let's go with the crates.
Okay, as you pop open one of the crates, inside is a stash of... It's a stash of carefully arranged racks of potions with cotton separators between them to keep them from
Ooh.
clanking against each other.
Hello.
It's a small crate. There's about 20 of them in there.
That's a nice amount of potions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
I
they
wonder
all
what
look
kind.
to be the same, or
Yes, they all look to be the same. They are something of a black fluid with white and red, or not white, blue and red swirls along the outside.
Curious.
Do we want to
Do we want to take
to do an identify?
Fiona would not be against it.
No, let's somebody keep lookout.
Yeah, we can do that. Fiona will say.
I mean,
I can do the
spell. I can do the spell if you want, Vellos, because you're probably better at fighting if it comes to that.
Yeah, do you need to use a spell slot?
No, I can ritual cast it.
Alright, I don't think I can do that, so
Okay, so it makes more sense for me. Okay. And Dori will ritual cast identify.
Okay, it's gonna take what, 10 minutes?
Yeah,
well,
Fiona's going to
11.
be keeping watch.
As am I.
Lantern will assist.
Do you have the door open or closed?
Well, as she starts setting up for identify, Fiona can close the door.
Okay.
yeah, probably best to be on the safe side there.
The other just
Probably.
kind of.
It's a heavy stone wall. Might as well close it since we're going to be in here for at least 10 to 11 minutes. So
Go ahead and give me perception checks as you all are just kind of sitting around quietly waiting.
ooh, that's only an 8 on Fiona's part.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's an 11 from Lantern.
Lantern.
Sorry, 16. I rolled an 11. I got a 16 total.
Okay, so as you are all sitting around waiting, as 10 minutes go by, Fiona, you're not really picking up on anything. Lantern, you're not either. Vellos, you're the only one who seems to hear anything as you hear a slight clicking of claws. They don't come close to the door from what you can tell listening in. It sounds like a small bit of traffic, but nothing that suggests knowledge of your location.
Alright.
As Dori, you finish identifying the substance.
Yes.
Send that to you. There you go.
Oh. Oh. This stuff is bad news. It's called sun drop. It's synthetic sun blood, and it's a drug.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
That doesn't sound good.
No. It's reading it. It's sun drop, synthetic sun blood. DC 5 con saving throw. On a failure, user becomes addicted. This DC increases by +5 per use, but resets back to DC 5 after a week from last dose, to a maximum of DC 25. DC 25 con saving throw. On a success, the user is not considered to be dosed by Sundrop. This DC decreases by 5 on every failure to a minimum of DC 10. While under the effect of Sundrop, the user feels the rush of sunblood for 10 minutes. They feel like they could fight Obaid himself. In reality, the affected is considered drunk, poisoned, and are under the effects of 3 exhaustion points, but does not have the 3 points. That is nasty.
Yeah.
Okay, when we're done here, we're burning this crate.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yuck.
All
What's
right,
in the
let's
other stuff?
crack open a barrel, see what the hell they have here.
As you crack open the barrel, there are several sword-shaped leather pouches that have been meticulously sealed up, as well as what looks to be about a quarter full of cooking oil or olive oil. Looks like whoever had, if you had to give it a guess, somebody had filled this to weigh as much as a barrel full of oil.
Ow. Vellos will take out one of the leather bags.
That's definitely a sword.
Lantern would like to sniff that cooking oil.
You wouldn't want to use it.
Lantern makes a face.
He'll carefully unwrap and pull out the sword to examine it.
How many of these are there?
There's about 5. There's 5 in there. Well, 4 now that Vellos pulled one out, but
Okay.
5 in that one barrel. Vellos, as you're looking at it, it seems to be a fairly... go ahead and give me a blacksmithing check. As you
Alright.
judge the craftsmanship. Using intelligence.
You mean wisdom?
No, I said intelligence.
Oh, wow, okay. That's a 5.
It's a sword. You're not seeing any identifying markers on it, but it's definitely a short sword.
Perhaps he is still too troubled by the artificial sunblood.
It could very well be. Well, these seem fairly normal. I'm not seeing anything particularly unusual, at least, but
But you also aren't seeing any maker's mark on them.
yeah, there's no mark to indicate a maker. So these probably, if I had to guess, probably mass produced in secret or something.
That sounds about right if it's for the thieves' army.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. No,
They're not a group that generally works out in the open.
guess not. We don't really need these, I think. Could use them as scrap, but I don't really feel like carrying them around with us.
Well, we can always take them on our way out.
I guess, but
I can carry them.
You get another
Lantern
barrel.
looks almost hopeful that someone will ask her to help.
I think for now we leave it where they are.
yeah, leave them for now. We might just end up scrapping them along with the crates later.
Yeah. Dori will start poking through the rest of the crates and barrels to see if there's anything else.
Or anything different, yeah.
Yeah, anything
The other
different.
barrel is much the same,
Okay.
though with arrows instead of swords.
Arrows, you
All
said?
right.
Yes.
Arrows.
Okay.
Arrows. Ooh.
Not bolts, arrows. And then the other crate, popping that open, has a similar setup, but some different materials in there.
Uh-oh, what's in this one?
You do recognize healing potions when you see them.
Ooh,
There are 4 of those in there.
yoink.
There are
Who needs
4
healing potions?
There are 4 vials of a powdery substance in there, and 8 empty vials. Judging by the residue, it looks like it had been healing potions at one point as well.
Well, considering the letter, that doesn't surprise me.
No, can we try to figure out what the heck that powder is?
Want me to do
My bet's on
identify
more
again?
drugs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna take those 8 empty vials if nobody else wants them.
Go ahead.
I have.
A
None
little
of
bit
us
of
has
rooting around in the crates, you'll find the corks to them.
Woo!
But those vials do have residue on the inside.
Well, yeah, but that's why you clean them later.
Just let you know.
Yeah. Do we want me to do a identify on the 4 powdery four 4 powdery substances?
It's contagious.
Yeah,
Doesn't
let's-
identify only work on magical things?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe it's a magical drug. I guess you can do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do detect magic, which takes another 11 minutes.
Sure.
So she'll cast identify again.
Spell slot or ritual?
Ritual.
Okay. Hanging out for another 10 minutes. As you complete the ritual, you find the material to be mildly magical. Seems to be the concentrate used in the production of healing potions.
Okay.
Though on its own, in its current state, you wouldn't want to ingest it.
Okay.
Alright, so let's leave that. I don't think any of us have the requisite skill to make healing potions anyway.
No, but you know,
Potions in general.
it might be saleable.
I guess.
I mean, 4 vials is transportable. You know, a couple of barrels worth of swords and arrows isn't very easily transportable, but 4 vials is.
I can carry 4 vials of anything, because I'm carrying 8 vials of nothing.
Yes. But I think taking the healing potions and this stuff makes sense.
Alright, let's.
Okay.
Alright, fine then.
Yeah, because it's a component used for
Yeah.
healing potions, so it's got to have some kind of monetary value attached to it.
Yep. Dori will take those 8 if nobody else is.
Yeah, how do I want to divvy up the healing potions? I've got 1 on me.
I wouldn't mind having 1.
Now, Fiona will hand 1 over to Dori.
Are these just standard potions of healing?
Yes.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
I would also be happy to take one of those off your hands.
All right, we hand 1 over to Lantern. We've got 2 more, and Fiona already said she has 3 for herself. She doesn't need any more. Here, you know what? Fiona is going to take these last 2 and give them both to Grigori. Because Grigori, like her, cannot heal himself.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
true.
fair
A good
point.
idea.
Thank you. I'm gonna put them in my pocket.
All right, potions distributed. So we're 2 hours in, so why don't we go ahead and take a break while we're hiding away in a safe room?
All right.
Get our drinks and stuff.
Sounds good.
Refresh our
Uh,
Yeah.
I will see you all in 15-20 minutes.
Okay. Sounds
See you
good.
in a bit.
Okay, through the power of the pause button. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you.
We are back in the room with the crate full of Sundrop and distributed healing potions.
Yeah.
And you guys had
I'm gonna
close.
grab. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was gonna grab one of those vials of sun drop and put it in my pocket. This one.
Okay.
Um,
Are you being
Why?
obvious about this, or
Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna grab it, stick it in my cryo pocket.
okay?
wait a minute. What are you doing there, Grigori?
Why are you taking one of those awful things?
I'll go send you the stats so you can copy that into your character sheet,
Okay.
or I'll just post them in public. Really, it's what I should be doing. There you go.
Grigori? Why
Yes?
are you taking that stuff?
I have an idea.
You're not planning on taking it yourself, are you?
No. Not me. No.
Oh, it's poison.
Yeah.
Well, it
Most
certainly
drugs
is that.
usually are.
Okay. We don't know if the bladelings are susceptible to it, but whatever.
That is fair, but you cannot use something you do not have, and we do not know that the only thing in here is bladelings.
That's true too.
Okay. Speaking of which, what is the next plan of action?
Well, I think we're gonna finish mapping out this floor, then head down.
Okay.
Yes.
As you open the door, I need to not rely on encounter tables. I need to start scripting my encounters. As you open the door to a relatively empty room, save for the items you left in there.
Hey, can we get that pickaxe?
The one that's in the resin or the one that Vellos grabbed?
Well, I'm hoping we use the one that Vellos grabbed to get the one in the resin, or at least to prove proof of concept whether or not you can break through resin with a pickaxe.
You may
Maybe
try. Who's ever got the pickaxe may try if they want to.
that's gonna make a lot of noise, Lantern.
And possibly bring the roof down on it.
It's the floor, it's not the support beams.
The resin pillar is tied into the central support.
Yeah, but I thought the pickaxe was on the floor, not the
It's
pillar.
half enveloped in the resin.
Oh, it's sticking out of the pillar.
So,
Okay.
to paint you a picture, here's the pillar. Here's your pickaxe. Except it's a little deeper in, and the handle is obviously not that wide. That is an entire tree stump there. But just to paint you a crude picture.
Yeah, let's not mess with that.
Yeah, I really don't want to be digging out.
Okay, but we're going to regret it later if we run into more resin or we get trapped in resin and we don't have enough pickaxes.
Okay. Dori
We
is
can
going
cross
to
that
start.
bridge when we get to it.
Yep. Dori is going to start sneaking down the next corridor.
Oh, yeah.
And looking
Okay,
ahead.
Lantern will go with, but it's pretty obvious to anyone who spent enough time with her to basically be able to read her facial expressions that she's very worried that she's going to get trapped in resin.
So which way are you guys heading?
Down the
Down the
aisle
hallway.
we haven't.
Okay. This
Map.
aisle is, according to your map, Fiona, this aisle should end here and just tap out. And as you guys move down through here, aside from a few more of those small tunnels along the sides of the walls, you're not seeing anything else. Now, mind you, these are actually on like the sides of the walls. They're not near the floor. They are like, a good foot and a half or so in the air. Or in the air up along the wall.
Why are those tunnels so small?
Baby bladelings?
Is there a nest nearby? Maybe?
Oh dear.
From what you've seen of
That's a
Bladelings-
horrible thought.
So to paint a picture, from what you've seen of Bladelings, if Bruno was the actual size of his model and not oversized for representation, this is the typical size of a Bladeling. With Bruno, how tall are you?
4'1".
Exact. Well, okay, Bladelings would be a little bit taller.
Oh, lovely. So they're actually... I'm shorter than the damn chicken.
No, the problem is that it's hard to see here, but the bridge of its nose is slightly under yours. But it's a little higher up where, on a relaxed stance, you guys would be at perfect kissing height.
I think that is the worst way you could have described it, to the point that I genuinely admire you for it.
Yeah, that's
You're
pretty.
welcome. Lock those muzzles together, get a little tongue play. Great time.
Gross.
God.
Bug tongues. Gross.
Yuck.
Now, you guys have seen.
I guess bugs more have a proboscis.
You guys have seen the insides of these things' mouths. It's definitely more lizard tongue.
Yep.
But yeah, no, those holes are too small for the normal sized ones to go through. That can only mean that Dori's right. We're dealing with babies.
Ooh, do you think we might find eggs? Because I feel like maybe my mistake has been trying chicken instead of omelet.
Somehow I doubt they'll taste much better.
Okay, so are you
No.
guys heading down the ramp?
I think
Yeah.
it's time to head down the ramp.
Okay.
Yep.
Fiona makes note of the small holes, and they're gonna head on
Along
down.
the other side. All right. As you head down, I struggle with a piece of paper. Damn it. I'll just not use that corner. Okay, as you head down, these are to indicate support structures. Fiona, you're looking by the map, and it comes to your attention you've reached the end of niceties. This
Uh-oh.
hallway does not exist on the map. According to your
Fiona
map,
glances
you-
between the map and the hallway that is new a couple of times and goes, "That one over there is new."
Not only that, but it's not the standard square pattern of the rest of the mine shaft. This is a curved wall, or an arched wall. And a lot smoother than the pickaxe work of the rest of the mine.
Yeah.
Does it look organically chewed or dungeonly generated?
Organically chewed would be the way to put it. Maybe not chewed, but definitely worked differently from pickaxes.
Yeah. I suspect that's the direction we're going to find the things in.
The
Yeah.
support structures you're seeing, you've got the central pillar here that's been resined, and then somebody had an opinion and proceeded to produce more resin along these walls for further support.
Fiona will mark these changes on the map. All of them. Because there is no reason not to. The more information she adds, the better, in her opinion. She doesn't know how... have the other supports kind of been on the map, the original ones?
The original ones, no, they have not.
Okay. Well, she's gonna add these ones anyway.
Okay.
So do
Because
we
they're
want to go down
creature
the,
created.
Do we want to go down the original hallway or the bladeling hallway?
I think
That
finish
is a
checking
question.
out the original hallway first and then come back.
That works for me.
Okay. Fiona, your map suggests that there should be a T-junction here. And as you head down this hallway, from what your map's suggesting, should have been a T-junction here. You have a path going this way as normal. This way, however, looks to have been intentionally blocked off. Collapsed boulders glued in place.
All right.
Glued in
Well,
place or resined in place?
Same material.
Resin. Okay.
There was intent behind the way the boulders have been stacked.
All right.
Great.
Fiona makes the adjustments on their map as they go. The original path now continues down.
As you come around this way, there's I think the best way to put it is something like a fungal smell in the air.
Yeah.
Lantern
Along
sniffs,
with-
trying to determine if these are the kinds of mushrooms you cook or the kinds of mushrooms you have a great time on. Not a familiar type of mushroom to me, and I've eaten a lot of mushrooms.
Yes. You're not familiar. What you do also hear on top of that is some sounds of movement.
Dori's got her hand back on spell talon.
Dori, a wave of paranoia washes through you.
And she will try to look in every direction at once.
Seeing how upset Dori is, Lantern is grabbing her druidic spell focus and preparing to cast Moonbeam at a moment's notice.
Bruno has his shield and mace out.
I'll send you
Vellos
Spell
is in-
Talon's general mindset right now.
Okay.
Vellos is on full alert mode.
Stupid gnats.
Gotta hate those.
Got it.
That's why you keep hearing me clap. Sorry.
Yep, that's pretty much what I'd been thinking. Doesn't like it.
They like
Okay.
to buzz right into my face, just
I
in front
love
of my
that.
eyes, and I hate it.
Gross. Okay,
Right?
so moving into here. This should just be a hallway proceeding onwards. How do you guys want to approach? Keep in mind you still have the drift globe active.
Yeah,
Lantern has good night vision and is willing to sneak up close first in the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, Dori doesn't have night vision, so.
So those with night vision are wanting to move forwards.
Well, Lantern
Fiona
is
will as well. She has low light, even though it's not quite the same as dark.
Okay. Go ahead and give me those wanting to proceed forwards. Go ahead and give me stealth checks.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I think chain gives me disadvantage.
It does, I believe so.
Yes, it does.
That's what I thought.
Lantern rolled a 17 for sneaking.
Okay.
Oh no.
this is why
Fiona
us
also
heavy
got a
armor
17.
dudes don't sneak.
Okay, so we got.
Bruno, why are you going in the sneaky group in chain?
Because I wasn't thinking.
We're not going to
And-
question that, but we got a group stealth check with 2 successes and 1 failure. That's good enough. You guys are.
Thank God it's a group check.
Yes. So, your map says this should go further and then fork off in another direction. What you instead walk into is a newly carved out chamber, or walk to the edge thereof. And as you look around, you see what you see is Lantern might respect the practicality. The rest of you would probably be bothered by this, as you see a something along the lines of like my zero waste jokes becoming reality, as these creatures, what they don't eat, they're seeming to use to farm a fungus. And it's being tended to by a bunch of these significantly smaller bladelings that kind of they move more like they're slithering, though they still have their 6-bladed limbs, which they seem to use more delicately for the manipulation of and harvesting the fungal fruits.
Lantern is consumed with the desire to taste this mushroom.
So you have a fungal farm in here.
But we should probably, before we try to eat any mushrooms, and I say we, like anybody else in the group is interested in doing that here.
Oh, what an awful perception check.
Before we try to eat, we should probably kill the farmers.
I will say right now, it is a swarm in here.
Okay. Is there any choke point that's about 5 feet wide?
No.
Okay.
This is an open room that is being used. And
I meant like towards the entrance even.
No.
The entrance is 40 feet wide.
10-4.
If you had to throw down a guess, if you had your entire party here, even though these things are small, you're about 15 to 1. And that's just from what you can see.
So we should come prepared with a way to kill all of them at once or not start a fight.
Yes.
Yeah. Fiona will touch Bruno and Lantern and gesture back towards our group before sneaking back.
Lantern nods and follows.
Yeah.
Once back at the group, Lantern, in a carefully low voice, is going to say, "So, what's the biggest thing everyone here could do?"
Fiona pouts and goes punch people.
That's
Oh,
great,
no.
but it's
Wait.
small.
You guys gave me a fireball necklace.
Oh,
I can light things on fire.
Oh yeah, you have that.
I can put a hypnotic pattern for everything within a 30-foot cube. If they don't save, they're charmed, incapacitated, and don't move.
For how long?
For up to a minute, or if they take damage or somebody shakes them out of it. But it at least stops them. Some of them.
let's see. Like Lantern, I have Moonbeam. Moonbeam. I have Moonbeam, I have Sleep, I have Fairy Fire.
I don't think that one hurts anything, does it?
No, it just
No,
illuminates
but
them.
just illuminates them, which that part isn't overly helpful, but it also
I have noticed that things that have been hit by that are a little easier to hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're easier to hit them if I use it, but it isn't directly offensive, and I'd have to concentrate on it, and I've got a much better spell that I could be concentrating on for us, so. Which is
Okay.
also an issue with Moonbeam.
Best thing I got Spirit Guardians, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
We don't know how durable those small ones are. That's the problem. And there are so many.
Yes, there are. So, yeah, no, it's looking like my best area of effect thing is going to be Aura of Vitality, which is more for us than them. But it means with the bonus action, as long as you're in range, I can do 2d6 healing.
That does sound useful.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. That's why I'd rather have that than Fairy Fire active.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise I can hit them with dissonant whispers, but that's a one at a time type thing.
Yeah.
Well, there are about 1 million of them.
Yeah.
About an accurate
So I
guess.
think something that can kill more at a time is more useful.
Well, the advantage of dissonant whispers is that it is psychic damage, which these guys seem to react to.
This is true.
That is true. You really don't like it.
They don't like it. Actually, I probably wanted, with these guys, I'd probably want to just stick with Vicious Mockery, which is also psychic damage. So, it doesn't do quite as much, but if these guys are probably not the big guys, you know, they're probably not the big, they're probably easier to take out.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my inventory to see if I have any improvised traps. I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing a lot of very useless stuff.
So as you guys are just standing around chatting and discussing,
I think we're chatting and discussing quietly.
oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not denying that at all.
This isn't a whisper, yeah.
Yeah.
But is anybody looking around, or are you just huddled?
Lantern is looking around because she is
Oh,
always
check.
looking around.
Dori is looking around because she's paranoid as hell.
Both of you give
Hey,
me
definitely keeping an eye out. They are in enemy territory.
Yes.
Everyone who's paying attention, or just two?
2.
Okay.
What kind of thing are we doing?
Perception.
Perception.
Okay.
All right. I've got
Probably
a
not-
+3. Who else
Yeah.
has better than that?
I think you and
+4.
Vellos are the two with good perception, so you should do it.
Oh yeah, Lantern has +3 and proficiency.
Okay.
Oh well.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Lantern's the druid. She's good at perception checks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow,
Lantern, as you're
oh,
looking around, you remember something kind of sits on the back of your mind as if you're trying to remember how these things sense their surroundings. And it leads you to slowly turn your head and looking up and reflecting in the dark vision of your own eyes. You make eye contact with something looking down at you from a tunnel in the wall or in the ceiling that slowly retreats back into the darkness of the tunnel.
Shit.
There is something there. Lantern immediately says, pointing.
Fiona looks up. Oh no.
We should be in a different place soon. Let's go.
Yeah.
Where are you headed?
Back down the tunnel where the millions of things aren't.
Okay, so
Okay.
you headed this way.
Back towards the stairs, yeah.
As you begin to move this way, you do hear a loud clattering of movement from this direction.
Oh dear.
I think we've got to fight no matter what.
And it
Well-
quickly, to your confusion, it's as gone as quickly as it starts.
That's worrying.
They don't want to fight us.
They
Or
scatter.
they're reinforcing the farm
Nest?
area. Or both. Yes.
Where they've
Did we
gone.
want to go look to see what they did?
Yeah.
Dori
I'll
says,
stay with
I
the others.
will go look because I'm probably one of the sneakiest people here.
Yeah,
That's
along
something
with
I
me.
actually-
Me and Dori will go.
Yeah.
Okay, give me stealth rolls.
I will be right back. Stomach.
Lantern is just
Okay.
preparing to cast Moonbeam if anything she doesn't like the look of comes down the tunnel.
Come on, damn it. Ugh. That is awful.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that really is.
Hope I did this right.
Jeez.
14?
Oh.
Did I do that right?
Looks
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you did.
Probably.
Yeah, you did. It's just a
Okay.
bad roll.
Yeah. Neither one of us rolled very well.
As you're able to, as you kind of sneak your way up towards the passageway, and kind of look around, you notice all the small kind of tenders have all, the fungus tenders have all vanished. And there's several larger ones standing at alert. near the entrance. But despite your rolls, I rolled lower.
Oh,
God.
yay!
As you stand just on the outskirts of their own dark vision.
Love it when the enemies aren't rolling well either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like they quickly locked down that area.
Dori kind of gestures to Grigori. Like, okay, let's go report back to the team.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna whisper back.
yeah, she's not even talking. She's just kind of pointing and then walking.
The uncodified sign language of trying to gesture someone into doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Anyways, as you guys make your way back,
By the way, about how many of the bigger guys did we see?
you saw about, from what you could make out without risking actually walking into their own dark vision, you saw about 6 of the ones that are around the same height as Bruno. So
Okay.
the medium-sized ones, and then you may have seen the faintest outline of at least one of the larger ones that has the breath weapons.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah. When we
You
get
know
back.
they have additional pathways in there.
Yeah.
Now, as you
They're
guys
ready.
look around the tunnels, you haven't seen any pathways large enough for the large ones to squeeze themselves through.
But that doesn't mean they don't.
What was that?
I said that doesn't mean they don't have them.
Yes.
All right, those small tunnels up top had to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, do we want to enter the lion's den since they've blocked off the other route down here?
Oh, there are lions too?
I'm sorry, that was a figure of speech, Lantern. It means going into a dangerous area.
Oh, well, all of the areas here are dangerous, so I say yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Group is
Yep.
proceeding.
Yep.
Or did we want to fight the guys down in that room? Just to get rid of them so there's less to fight later.
Whichever way we
That's
do, I am going to cast Moonbeam basically immediately.
We got 2 moonbeams and a fireball.
Yep.
Whichever direction you want to go.
Who is the second moonbeam?
You.
I'd be focusing on aura of vitality for giving us
Everybody
healing.
up.
Yeah. I have moonbeam, and if I run out of spell slots to cast aura of vitality because I took damage and lost concentration, yes, I will move to moonbeam instead of that. But yes, I'd rather keep aura of vitality over moonbeam,
Well, the way I
especially when
see
we
it,
already have one.
I don't know how flammable that fungus is, and I don't want to start a fire underground. I've heard bad stories.
Oh, yeah,
about
that'll
that.
suffocate you really quickly. So many kobolds died that way.
Lantern, you'd also know that starting a fire underground can actually cause a cave-in.
Yeah. We don't want
Sometimes they died because they didn't have air anymore. Sometimes they died because the ceiling fell in. Either way, not a good look.
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't really want to have to use fireball down here.
And also, if you do, then I won't get to taste any of those mushrooms.
This is true.
Yes, that is very much a priority.
Yes. It's the
I'm glad
first
you
thing we're
understand,
on.
Bruno. All right.
As Bruno just sighs and drops his head.
I think those of us who are confident in our sneaking should try to get up and take them by surprise, while the people who are less confident in their sneaking should rush in from once we start and hit them then.
Okay, so you guys
So
are
do we
turning
want to
around.
fight the mushroom guys or continue on? So I guess we're
I like the
mushroom
idea of
guys?
fighting the mushroom guys.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay, so we're turning around to
Alright.
engage in this direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the sneakier guys attempting to get close
Well,
enough for
Dori will
sneak
say-
attacks.
I don't think sneaking is really going to help much right now.
No,
I think
you guys
sneaking
are-
up and casting Moonbeam before anyone notices would help.
Well,
You
yeah,
guys are very
okay.
much so in a hallway. But if that's the way you want to take things, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, sneaking close enough to get in range before they can start firing spines at us is better.
Well, that's true.
You guys like the spines. At least I know Fiona likes them.
Lantern likes him.
They
She's been
don't
watching
target me, though!
To be fair, you aren't typically the one that's. I don't have an answer. Usually you're up close and in their face by then.
And then the ones that do target me miss. So it's not like I get to do anything about it.
Poor Fiona.
It's okay. So it's only a matter of time before that won't matter anymore.
Yep. Okay, so you know what we'll do it this way, even though the map is in another direction. I just have more space this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Where's my mouse? There's my mouse.
Okay, so this here, put this here. Don't you hate it when you misplace your mouse?
Hey, she's not your mouse. She's her own rat and our fighter.
Isn't she a monk?
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, in
yeah.
terms of amount of fighting done, she is one who fights, a fighter.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Giant room.
Okay, there we go. Okay, positioning.
Bruno
These
will
things
be in
are
the
supposed to
middle
be
of the
medium
pack.
sized, but you know, hexapods don't take a great amount of space because technically they're this big, but there you go.
Well, I think Fiona, Lantern, Dori, and Grigori would have been leading. Not sure what
One
Vellos would be
second.
doing since he's in the bathroom at the moment.
Okay, well that gives me time to go grab the rest of them.
Well, it's mostly sneaky folks up front, so probably he would not be up front.
Probably not.
No. Vellos and Bruno are not our sneaker.
No.
They are wearing the armors.
Yes. The very protecting armor.
Okay.
Oh, my back.
Is Bruno getting up?
No, my back's killing me.
Oh, okay. I can see how that I would have misheard that as I'll be back.
Yeah, I said, ow, my back. So, yeah, I'll be back. Ow, my back. Very similar sentences. Sounds.
Oh yeah. Please don't hook from each other. I get it, you love each other, but please don't hook onto each other.
Hook on, hook on.
They're the monkeys.
Quite
Yep.
really is. This is a large-sized creature. I need to make
Oh,
more
dear.
of those, but for now, I guess I'll have to use some stand-ins. from what you can see with dark vision, though I suppose somebody's going to turn on their light soon.
Well, the moon is, for one.
Well, I
That's
meant actual illumination.
Fair. I think that only illuminates the thing it's
Yes.
zapping.
Yeah. Basically. Blech. Well, Vellos is taking care of business. How about everybody else rolls initiative while we're at this?
So it's 3 big ones and 8 small ones?
Yes.
And Fiona, you do have advantage.
Alright.
Because when we exited or passed the blockade, I put the vigilance blessing on you. And lantern.
Positioning people?
Bruno's about as in the middle as he can get without being in the middle of the stealthy guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Dori's probably up. Not necessarily. Well, not necessarily in the front. Probably in the middle rank, but before Bruno and Vellos.
I'm also stealthed. Also,
Oh my god. That is hilarious.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Okay, so
No,
who's up front?
I suspect Dori and Grigori are up front, judging from our initiative.
Uh,
rolls.
yeah.
And then
Lantern,
Bruno.
Fiona would definitely be up front. Since she's used to fighting, and she doesn't want Dori in the front lines with these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vellos?
Vellos is still in the bathroom.
I thought I heard him come back.
His mic is still off.
Yeah.
Well, based on my initiative, I'm not nearly as far in the front as I thought I was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. Oh, Lantern, I am so sorry.
I think Lantern tripped on the hem of her robes.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Thud.
Yep.
Nat one.
Okay, so. Okay, that's not good for you guys. That's moderate. Anyway, separate these groups. I'll just keep them left and right split for now. If I really need to separate them, I will, but for the moment. Interesting.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Vellos,
welcome back.
Initiative.
Great.
Oh boy.
Will do.
Let's see. Will you roll polarly, or will you match the other three, or will you be somewhere in the mid-range with Fiona?
We shall see.
Mid-range with Fiona.
Yeah.
Yep. I see we got a few of the bigger ones in the mix.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do.
Okay. Hmm. Did I really roll that? Interesting. Okay, Vellos, where would you be standing?
Uh, front of the pack.
So, up over here.
Yeah, and uh, he would have tried. We had warning of these guys coming at us.
Yeah, you need these guys over
We're
here,
going to them.
and they are already aware of your presence.
Yeah, we're using the daylight
Okay.
of the from the drift globe.
Everybody's blinded for the first round. And I mean everybody. So let's go from you guys' initiatives, top to bottom, as we just go ahead and skip past the first round. What did everybody roll? 25 to 20.
No one.
No one.
19 to 15.
18.
18.
Alright, so Dori, then Bruno.
Grigori, then Bruno.
18.
Dori, Grigori, then Bruno.
Mhm.
Actually, I think it's Grigori, Dori, then Bruno.
I don't know. You both
All
have.
three of us got
4.
18, and you two have
Right,
plus
but I
4.
think-
So
I think Grigori has higher dex than Dori does. Dori's dex is 17.
Yeah, mine's 19.
Yeah.
Dori, what's. Why are you getting the plus 4 to your dexterity then, Dori? Or your initiative then, Dori?
Jack of all trades.
Okay, thank you. Then yes, okay, so it's Grigori, Dori, then.
Bruno.
Okay, so that's the 19 to 15. 14 to 10.
13.
11.
All right, Lantern, what did you get?
4.
Oh, jeez.
Nat
No.
1.
Ouch. Okay. Let's go ahead.
Lantern was looking up to see if there was anything in the ceiling tunnels and tripped over her robe.
Let's go ahead and take it from the top then, shall we? With these guys, you're going to move right here. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Your range on this ability. Okay. You guys are going to go ahead and hold action, actually. Yeah, no, they're going to go ahead and take the dodge actions, which will go ahead and then bring things over to... Brings it to these two guys who are going to go ahead and take their dodge actions. And that's going to go ahead and bring it up to Grigori.
Okay.
You are right here. Behind Vellos.
Alright. I don't really got much, so I guess I'll shoot an arrow or sorry, not arrow. Sorry, a bolt at the one directly in front of Vellos.
Okay, we got 2. This one or this one?
The other one, that one,
Okay.
that one. Yep.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Alrighty. I think I got this right. Hopefully.
One
21.
will hit.
Damn.
Go ahead and roll your
Okay.
damage.
Damn it.
Dang it.
What are we danging?
I don't remember if I activated aid today. I didn't do it this session.
Then no, you
Last
did not.
session was totally non-combat, so you didn't.
So probably not. So yeah, no. Okay. That's going to be my first move.
Oh, wait your turn.
But it's a
Well, yeah.
plus it's a +4, right?
Yes.
+4 damage. Okay. So 7.
Good hit. Okay.
I remember. Awesome. Starting to get the hang of it.
Dori's turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dori is going to cast Hypnotic Pattern. She's going to get the guy way in the back and as many people forward. It's a 30-foot square as she can get.
Okay. What is that? What kind of spell is that? Illusion or?
It is a illusion spell.
Okay. So you're gonna start with the guy in the back, and what's the size?
30-foot cube. So him and as far forward as she can get it.
Okay. Let's see here. Hang on 1 second. Just make little paper tokens for these guys.
Hmm.
30-foot cube. Where's my
That's a
cube?
nice big cube.
That is a big cube. Where's my
Mhm.
cubes? Oh, 30-foot cube. Oh, this is actually not a pattern template. Okay, so you want to do something like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just-
Everybody within that square has to make a wisdom save. You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration, which is 1 minute. While charmed by this spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Wisdom
The spell ends for
save.
it ends for an affected creature if it takes any damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor. So anybody who doesn't move, we don't want to attack until we've attacked everybody, until we've cleared out everybody else.
5. Okay, so what's your spell DC?
It is 16.
Okay. That's a 5 for that one. That's a 4 on that one. So failed. 16 pass.
Hmm.
19 pass.
Ah,
And a 22 pass.
Ah,
ugh. Oh,
Now,
well.
the next part. The entire group resists because over half of them passed.
Okay. Oh, well.
Oh.
Their
We're gonna
psychic
try.
connection shield those who passed. Their hive connection with each other overpowered the illusion magic for the rest of them.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, it's
that's
good to know.
good to know for the future.
Yep.
right?
Yep. And that's, I'm going to stay put, so.
Okay. Is the hypnotic pattern persistent? Or is it an instantaneous?
No, it's an instant.
Okay.
It only, the pattern itself appears and vanishes.
Got it. Okay, that's going to take things over to Bruno.
Bruno is going to cast Aid on. Come on, where's my mouse? There we go. On himself, Fiona, and Dori.
Okay.
All right. That's 5 more HP, right?
Yes.
Please remember, because that increases your maximum HP, make a note of it.
Yep.
No, I don't increase my max. I just write what my new max is under current XP and have that be it.
Makes sense
I just
to me.
refer to that when I'm under the effect of aid.
That makes sense to me since we're not using XP.
Right? It's like that's a good place to put a random number that won't disappear or mess up all my other random numbers.
Yep. Alright, and I don't have any bonus actions I can use, so well, that will have any effect.
Yeah.
So that'll be his turn.
Okay. These guys are gonna. Yes. Okay. So that was Grigori, Dori, Bruno. Okay. Your turn. Okay, you're gonna move out of the way over here, but you're gonna get closer. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can use your 35 movement. Fiona, because you've been complaining about it so much, we're gonna throw you a bone. We're gonna throw you a spike. Since
All
because
right.
there are no bones to throw. Hey! 23.
That will hit.
Okay. What's the damage on this thing? These things so rarely hit, I need to check the damage die. Okay. That's going to be 4 damage.
Alright, that doesn't even break my levels, so I will use my reaction to just catch that and drop it.
Okay.
Using my deflect missiles.
It's a little wet when you grab it.
Gross. Yeah.
Feeling these things
Because
may
I
be
reduced the
hydraulic
damage by
ones.
1d10 plus my dex plus my monk. So it has to deal more than 9 damage for me to not catch it.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Nice.
35,
Yeah.
40. No, right there for 40. We're going to go ahead and fire one off at Vellos. That's going to
But it
be
is a reaction.
a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that too. Ooh, that's going to be 6 damage.
Ooh.
Ouch. And the scales go flying.
Okay. Alright. Just want to make sure this die wasn't weighted weirdly. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You're going to take dodge action. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You're also going to take dodge action. That's going to go ahead and take it to this big dude. Now, this guy, his front claws are... They're not the typical scythe build you're used to. These things look more like, almost more like shovels in their width. And it's got a large head crest. As you can kind of feel the tremors as it lumbers forwards.
Is it like that one we encountered a while back? The one that
first
sprayed
one?
the resin?
No. This one, while it's a similar size... Because these two are like the one... These two look more like this. This one has wider claws, wider front claws, and a large head crest.
Okay.
15, 20, 25. No, you'll move right here. Yeah, right there will be good for you. And you're going to take up a dodge action. Dodge action, defense, same thing. Anyways, it takes up a defensive stance. That's going to move things over to Fiona.
Alright. Well, Fiona knows how much these things like to use wide area attacks. So what she's going to do is go attack the one closer to... That's kind of opposite of where she is, so yes.
5,
She's
10,
got 40
15,
feet of movement.
20, 25. 20 or...
And she'd,
Which 25?
she'd stand closer to the wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. This way, she'll be attacking one that hasn't taken the dodge action. And also won't have her in the middle of the group for the moment.
Yep.
And she will attack with her short sword.
Okay.
1d6 plus 5, that's the +1 short sword. With her first attack. Oh, that's only a 10.
And it's not going to hit.
Yep, so she'll swing again with her second attack. Oh, no, wait. She will do her insistent strike first. For 4 points of damage.
What's your number?
Well, the other time she's been missing has been with range. She can't do that with range.
Right. That's...
Second attack is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Alright. This one takes 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to do something different.
Oh.
And use my bonus action to activate the Ring of Glass Scars on this round.
Okay.
So half the damage I take over the next round is converted into temp HP on the start of my next turn. And then I'll be vulnerable to the 2 types of damage I'm taking while I have the temp HP.
Okay. Vellos, you're up.
All right.
As a glassy shimmer envelops Fiona.
I have this ring. I might as well try it out. This is a large group of enemies. So
Fair enough, I guess.
let's see.
Let's see. We're gonna head to the lower guy from my perspective. The one Fiona's not.
Which side?
Yeah, that guy.
Which side do you want to be on?
Far side. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. From here, I think I can hit 2 with Spirit Guardians. So. Yeah, let's stick with it. Let's just play it a little safe for now.
Are you casting
We'll
Spirit
use-
Guardians?
Yep.
Alright, what's the save on that?
That is Wisdom, DC 15.
Okay, DC 15 Wisdom. That's a fail. And that's a pass.
All right.
Failed,
Half
passed.
damage on a success. It is 3d8. Yeah, 3d8. And everybody who enters the range, or every enemy who enters the range, their movement speed will be halved.
Yep.
Oh, not bad. So, 15 for the fail and 7 for the guy who passed.
Okay. That's gonna go ahead and that's your bonus action. Or are you done?
That's my turn.
Okay. Lantern, your turn.
All right. So, looking at the map,
Yes.
none of them got Dori's thing, right? Where they're
Correct.
incapacitated because of the psychic connection. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Make inferences
The-
to that as you wish.
I would like to, first of all, maybe get up, hugging one of those walls.
Which side?
I don't know how to determine which side
you are
I could.
equal side from both.
Pick one at random. The one that looks up to me would be my preference, but I don't know if it looks up to you.
I can make it look up to me.
Up to her would probably be towards Fiona.
Yes.
And I would make it look up to me. So there you go.
Now, am I capable of, say, casting a spell with a double checking, 120-foot range? Would I be able to put it in between the second two sets of the second set of two bladelings with 5 feet in between them?
I think the only ones
Not the ones that are close.
The only ones
not
that
the
are
ones
5 feet between each other is this one. Are these two.
Really?
Yes. The rest of them have gotten wise to your bullshit.
What? No, I mean, I see some right in front of me.
Oh, right. There's a gap right there. Yes.
Yeah, there's also the
yes,
second
there
set
is. You
that's
could
right
do that.
behind them. I would like to aim at the second set that's behind them rather than the one that's closer to my friends.
Okay. Yes. Most of them have gotten wise to your bullshit. All right. What's the save? What's your spell save?
That is a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
DC 13. That's a fail. That's a pass. One got a 5, the other got a 17. Failed, passed.
Well, I'm about to roll for either way. Sorry, my cat has decided to help, and it has made this so much harder to do on every level possible. Okay, that's 10 damage to the one who failed and 5 damage to the one who passed.
Okay. Okay, and then we bonus action. Taking things from the top.
None that is helpful.
Okay, taking things from the top. No wait. Almost. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm gonna go ahead and attack you, Vellos.
Oh, first he's gonna take damage.
Right, he needs to save. What was that? Wisdom save? 18.
Pass. So he takes 5.
Okay, that's fine. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit you
And
for
his-
little pack tactics.
Oh, when he entered, his movement speed would have been halved.
Yes, I know they have. How far does that go again? 10 feet out, 15 feet out?
15 feet out.
Moves 35 feet. 30, 25, 20, 15. $25, 35. Okay. Alright. And we'll just multi-attack you with a ranged attack. Well,
Fair enough.
That's a 9 to hit. And that's a... Oh, there we go. That's a 22 to hit.
Okay, we're gonna use my free shield.
Okay. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, right there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're gonna... No, I did. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and since you're shielding, we're gonna go ahead and just take our dodge actions. Five. Jeez. 10, 15, 20. Yeah, we'll move you right there. And 15. Yeah, we'll move you right there. You guys will take up defensive actions because the hallway's crowded. Okay, that's going to bring things over to Grigori.
Okay. All right. Which one's to hurt most? It's hurt most.
You're having difficulty telling due to alien physiology, but you know that basically these 4 have been
Damage. Nope. that one's the one that's hurt most. You just got smacked by a hand.
A giant hand!
The hand of God.
You know what? I'm gonna attack that one.
Okay. So you're gonna go into the back to attack that. What's your move speed? Or are you gonna use your crossbow?
My crossbow.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Okay. Eight. Yeah, that fails. I'm sure.
No, that doesn't hit.
Yeah,
Bonus action,
okay.
movement.
My bonus action. Can I attack again with a bonus action?
Only with an offhand melee weapon if you attacked with a melee weapon right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then I guess nothing I can do.
Okay. Just gonna go ahead and take things over to Dori.
Okay. Dori is going to move forward 10 feet to get out from under Velos's wing. So she's going to move a catty corner towards the near wall. 10
Right here?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
And then she's going to cast Dissonant Whispers at the big guy in front.
This guy? Alright, what's the save on that?
Yep. Save on that to 16.
16. And what was that?
Dissonant Whispers. You whisper a discordant melody.
No, I know that. What was the stat?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wisdom save.
Thank you.
Um,
That is going to be a. Let's see, that's a 15 on the die. That comes to a 16.
Okay. As a bonus action, she's going to give the steward that is haunting Fiona, she's going to activate him.
So he's going to what?
Activate the steward that is on Fiona.
Okay.
So she gets the +1 to attack rolls and the animated shield.
Okay.
Ooh, yay.
And then if you need it, you can, on a bonus action, command the steward to transform into a wall of stone.
All right. I love having an extra +1 to attacks.
Yes.
And a +2 AC from a shield. It's very
Yay.
nice.
Okay.
Yay.
And that's going to go ahead and take things to Bruno.
Bruno is going to. Yeah, with this many, he's going to move up 10 feet.
Which way? Just straight forwards?
Yeah, straightforwards.
Okay.
And activate Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay.
And again, he's left with pretty much no bonus actions. Although, yeah, he's going to hold off on any bonus actions he does have, just for the sake of, let's hold off on any spell slots.
Alright.
So I will roll temp HP.
Then I'll bring things over to these guys. Oh god, you have to make 2 saves. Stop bullying red number 3.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the second one?
5. Oh, I thought
7
you
points.
Never mind. Okay. That's how I was thinking.
7 points of temp.
Stop bullying red number 1. Okay, so we're moving up to the reds. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see. That's number 2. Red 1 saving against spiritual guardians. 5, 10, 15. Yep. That's going to be a 14.
Fail.
Let's see here. Red 2 also rolling against. That's a nat 20 on that, so.
That's a pass.
Okay. We'll just. Okay. 2's up. Red 1 is out.
All right.
Then we got the 2 under the effects of Moonbeam, which are con saves. The first one is going to be me having to check the con saves. Okay, the first one's a 17.
Well, that's going to pass.
And the second one is a 12. Or, sorry, 11.
That-
11.
Neither of those would pass.
Yep.
Yet again, 10 points of radiant damage to the one who failed, and 5 to the one who passed.
Let's go ahead and take this guy out. We're on round 3, right? Or round 2?
Round 2, I think.
Right, I'm thinking we're around
Round 2.
3.
This
This
is
said we were
a-
all blinded on round 1.
Yeah, I was making that as a joke. Okay.
Okay.
I have moved once, and I'm
Yes.
last. So
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So you're on round 2. So let's see here. You're gonna go ahead and five, 10, 15, 20, moving along the wall to stay out of reach of spirit guardians. And it's going
That's
to go
funny.
ahead and attack Fiona.
That's fair.
That's going to be a... Wow. Okay, that's a... Dex. 24 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, that's going to be... So this is going to get you for 7 slashing. On the
All
first
right,
attack.
that's halved to...
Right, because you used that.
Yeah. Halved to 4?
And then the next one is going to be a 18 to hit.
18 to hit. That does not hit with the shield.
Okay. Okay. Then this guy's just going to go ahead and attack Vellos. Or, you know what? No. You're going to move
Oh, no,
over
wait.
to-
I take the full damage.
Yes,
Half
you
the
take-
damage I take is converted. Okay.
Yes.
I just had to reread that.
You're going to attack Fiona instead because you get pack tactics. Oh, wait. He just moved away from Vellos.
Yes, I get an attack of
We'll go ahead and risk
opportunity.
it. Go ahead and do it. He's got nothing to live for.
Wait, should we? No, it should be 2 plus 1d6. 30, 20.
Okay, yep, that'll hit. Good roll damage.
Ten.
Oh, which one? Red 2. Ow, darn it. Oh well, he tried. It's not a he. You guys don't know, but it's not a he. Anyways, just gonna go ahead and move things up to you. 5, 10, 15, 20. You know what? Go ahead and enter it through here for 30. So he's got to make a
Ooh.
save. That was a D12 I knocked over. So that's a nat 20 on the save.
Okay, well, he takes half of this then. 8 points.
And then
Total was 16.
points. I need everybody who's 30 feet in this line to make dexterity saving
it.
throws at the width of this
Oh.
creature. So that's your basically 5, 10, 15, 20. I should move from here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Grigori, you will be in reach simply because it's a large sized creature.
Yeah.
So Lantern, you're in the clear.
Woo! Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not saving that.
Well, it makes sense. The 2 clerics with heavy armor did not do well on the dex save.
So this guy, because he is what he is, just auto succeeds in the save and moves over here. Grigori, you're safe.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was talking.
Oh dear.
What?
I'm gonna use uncanny dodge.
Okay,
Can
you'll
I
be able
see
to
it?
use that to have the damage you receive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. As this thing charges forwards, Vellos, you get scooped up in its head crest and take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Oh
Bruno?
shit.
You're going to be bludgeoned with Vellos in its charge, knocked prone, and take 6 bludgeoning damage. Vellos, you're going to take 3 of that. And then Grigori, in part of that charge, you're also going to take 11 damage. Vellos, you're going to take 5 of that.
Ow!
So you're knocked prone over here. You're prone right here, as this thing now stands over here, and you're also prone.
And I owe you at least 1 con save.
Yeah, possibly 3.
Did I just roll 3d20s?
Yeah.
I believe you have that 11 for Grigori's uncanny dodge, right?
Oh, right. So that's going to be 6.
Half.
Yeah, so that's going to be half to 5. Vellos, you're still going to
Uh,
take the 5 damage.
Fuck.
Because that's a different ability for Grigori.
Wait, my con bonus is plus.
You said I took
Fiona is
6
suddenly
damage?
very glad
Yes.
that she stepped to the side.
Okay.
That's 19, 13, and 10 for the con saves.
Yeah, you pass.
Yeah, ow!
Yeah.
Well, there goes Vel's shield scales. I gotta remove that ability for the moment.
Fiona is very glad that she stepped to the side
Fiona,
there.
you feel the ground shake and thunder, and you turn to watch that happen. As that thing just
Lantern is
rolls-
keeping an eye on where those scales fell.
as-
Fiona just mouths the word, "Holy shit."
as that thing bowls over Vellos and uses it to smack Bruno and Grigori around.
Oh, that hurt like hell, but that's a funny mental image. Yeah, that blew through all my remaining field skills HP plus 10 of my regular HP, so I'm down to 36 health.
Ouch.
Fiona, your turn.
Right. Well, there's this thing that's attacking me that I'm going to get rid of. So she's going to swing at it with her sword, and since her steward is activated, it's that's a 12 to hit on the
Unfortunately,
first attack.
that misses.
Damn threes.
At least you got your incessant strike back because you hit it earlier.
Yeah. I did. So that's 3 points of damage from the incessant strike and a 30 to hit on her second
That'll
attack.
hit. That 30 will definitely hit.
Alright.
Yeah.
If it didn't, I'd be pretty worried.
Yeah.
For another 7 points of piercing
Enough to
damage, so
take
10
him.
total.
That's enough to finish.
Alright. Excellent.
Alright.
Let's see, what do I want to do for my bonus action? The Ring of Half Scars is now on the vulnerable stage while I
To
question.
slashing.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I replace it with different temp HP.
You maintain vulnerability until you are out of temp HP.
Got it. Alright.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
Yep.
You know what? all of them can deal with that big guy. Fiona will go straight down towards the other wall and attack the ones that are closest to Dori. Because there's Bruno, Vellos, Grigori, and Lantern all over by the big one. She's gonna help head off all the other ones on the bottom.
Okay, so you're heading up over here.
Oh yeah, straight down to the ones in front of Dori.
Okay, so right here.
Yep.
All right.
And she is going to use her bonus action to attack and use a key point to activate Flurry of Blows to get 2
Okay.
more strikes with her fists on this guy. Using a key point.
Wait, I forgot you had multi-attack for a second.
That's for a 19.
That'll hit.
I believe my fists are d6s now.
Yes.
Yes. For 11 points of bludgeoning damage on the first strike.
Okay.
And with the
Uppercut
second
hit.
punch, 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Excellent. For another 9 points of damage on the second. Total of 20 points of damage.
Totaling that from the 24 damage taken.
Alright. There you go, Dori. I reduced one of them coming at you.
Cool. Cool.
Vellos,
And now I'm gonna just wait here.
Yeah, we're gonna pick ourselves up from that. Oh. And everybody else around this thing is prone, so
The thought floats in your head, the desire to get the license plate of that bus that just hit you, but you have no idea what a bus or a license plate are.
oh, my connection must have fizzled there. Did it catch what I just said?
Nope.
No.
I said, what the hell is a bus? And everybody around it is prone, so
So it's half movement, stand up.
yeah, we're gonna move forwards anyway to,
Oh, you're already in melee with this thing.
I know, just scooch around it basically to be behind it if I can.
Okay, so half move, stand up, and then it's 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
Alright, and yeah, we're gonna smack this thing.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the one thing you've probably been wanting to hear for ages against these things. You may roll with advantage to hit.
Oh!
Oh,
I
Nice.
had made an adjustment. It's up to you guys to figure out how that adjustment works.
huh.
When they use an ability, they become prone.
That's one theory, but we're gonna have to figure that out.
Could be a matter of distance.
Mm-hmm.
Again, distance from the group. That might be it.
Psychic, something with the psychic. I'm sure.
It's 2d20. We got 1 plus 2 plus 1d6. Well, at least it was at advantage. 18.
Class. Yeah, 18 will hit.
For 7 points.
Okay.
Jumping. I think it's only when it enters and starts its turn in there, so yeah. So it'll take more damage on its turn.
Alright. Action, movement action, bonus action, anything else? You have your bonus action
I'm
and
just
anything
gonna
else.
roll temp HP from Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay.
Let's. What is it, Bruno?
1d6 plus 5.
Thank you.
Unless I missed us leveling up
Nope.
to 6 at some point.
No,
Didn't think
you're all at
so.
level 5.
That's what I thought. Oh,
Wow. Okay. You know what? It's better than nothing.
yeah.
Indeed.
Especially after the shell shocking I just got.
Yeah.
Vellos out here learning what his mace feels like.
Pretty much, and that'll be his turn.
Okay. That's gonna take things over to Lantern.
All right.
Lantern, you just
So-
had your friends get bowled over.
I sure did, but I also know that my personal chances of doing anything about it are on the slim. I know Vellos is very big and strong and tough, and probably did not take enough damage that I'm thinking about using healing.
Okay.
Grigori, you're the other one who got caught up in it, yes?
Yep.
Grigori he took 5 points of damage from that charge.
Okay, 5 isn't that bad, so I don't think Lantern would step in on that when she can instead use her action to move that moonbeam between those two spider chickens that it's got. Sorry, between those two bladelings. Yeah, that's where I want it.
Okay. Alright. Saves on those guys will be at the... Yeah, because it's the first time entering, I guess, so they would be making con saves.
DC 13. And I will roll
Double
damage.
fail.
Neato.
5 and a 4.
Well, both of them take 9 delicious points of radiant damage.
God, the ink is totally saturated. I can't tell what those numbers are. Oh no, the ink is diffused.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think that's a 3, and yeah, I think that's a 3 and a 4. Yeah, because you're the 2, I think. Okay. That's gonna go ahead and bring it up to anything else you gotta do before we move it to the next turn?
Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone took enough damage that I feel like intervention is required on a spell slot requiring level.
Okay.
So I think I'm just gonna... You know what? I would like to move ideally closer to the wall so I'm in a way that I'm not directly in a line with either of these two now that I know it can do that.
Sure, so you want to go like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30?
Let's do that. I like that. We'll do that. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Choo-choo.
Twilight Sanctuary,
Yeah.
temp HP.
That is temp HP. That's how much? That's 1d6 plus 5. Okay.
Although, not what I was saying. I'm saying it's almost 10 and I've got to be up at 3 or 4 in the morning tomorrow.
It is initiative count at the top if we want to call it here for tonight.
And
I
that's
think-
why I'm bringing
Finish
it up
this fight
now.
tomorrow. Or,
That makes
sorry, not
sense.
tomorrow. Finish it up next week.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
That's fair.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Little note here.
Okay.
Bladelings have a new hobby: adventurer bowling.
Okay. Well, if we're all ending, then I am going to bed. Good night, everyone.
Night.
See you all
Right.
next week. And trample you all
Yep,
next
yep.
week.
See you all next week.
Yeah.
No.